Should come on live. There we go now. So that's it. We're live now. One person looking. Okay, I'll see you later, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'll pop around next week sometime.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Next time when you come, I'll make sure I've got some beers in.
Will do.
What do you drink? You drink Chang?
Yeah, Chang's me.
That's what
My favourite. Yeah. Okay, take it easy. Thanks for calling. Catch you later. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Ploy keeps spraying the ants. Yeah. Oh, we have a wide collection here. Anyway, good afternoon, good morning to the UK. And here we are, a little bit late setting up, but we're here. So I've got 5 people in the house. Is everything okay? Everybody can see the pictures okay? Everybody can hear it okay? Put the fan on a bit. So back home from the UK. Hi Les, welcome back. Thank you very much. You're back, great. Good to have you back, Les. Loud and clear. Oh, that's the main thing, as I say. I usually set up 15, 20 minutes earlier, but a friend Jeff came round and I said, I'm on live at 3 o'clock, so he's just gone now. So yes, I'm glad everything's working and glad to be back. But electric cars are very, very quiet. So yes, 23 an hour. Wow, that's crept up very, very quickly. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining in. Morning, Les from sunny Darlington. Started watching the channel a few weeks ago. Thanks very much for all the new subscribers. Over 2,000 new subscribers in the 9.5 weeks I was in the UK. So thanks very much for everybody for joining in and having their comments. Some people said I ranted on a lot about the UK, the bad things, but I don't think it was ranting. It wasn't bad. For me, it was my observations because I haven't lived there for so long. And it was about 1.5 years ago since I went back. And I've got to say, since Stammer got in, he isn't giving anybody any hope. It's all bad news with the looks of it. But anyway, that's by the by type of thing now. I'm in Thailand and I'm, as you can see, I'm a little bit sweaty. I've been working in the garden. There's loads of things to do. And I started yesterday. My first day back full day back was yesterday. And the grass was sort of just over ankle high. So I cut all the grass and I was going to cut the hedge today. And back to normal life in Thailand. But I missed my garden. I missed the Thailand. I missed the warmth. Although it's been thunder and lightning earlier this morning, it's been drizzling and a bit of hard rain. But on the most, it's just lovely because it's warm and I can sit outside on that sofa just there, or I can go on the hammock just there. Perfect. Glad you're back in Thailand. It's tipping down. What's going on? The terrible state of the country. You're back where you belong. Hi, Les. Welcome back to Thailand. Thank you. Afternoon, Les. Been following. Oh, I've done that one. Good afternoon, Les. Welcome back home. No jacket today. No jacket today. My hair needs doing. Wow, it just. But I refuse to pay £10 to go and get me haircut in the UK. So I'm going. That's one of my first things. Monday or Tuesday, I'll go and get my haircut. A couple of pound, or that's the equivalent of the English money. A couple of pound to get cut. Not, of course, I'm tight or anything like that, but value for money. You know, when you're on a limited budget, well, then you've got to count the pennies. And I couldn't count the pennies in the UK because everything was bloody expensive. There was nothing was cheap. But anyway, back to normal. So if anybody's got any questions, especially for the new people who just joined me on the channel, if you've got a question to ask, put a capital Q at the beginning of it, and I'll see it's a question, and then I'll answer your question as best as I can. Now, because I've lived here for 12 years, I can answer most of the questions. But if I'm stuck, I will direct you to those people that can give you the answers. But I'm very, very good at what I do. I can obviously give the answers to majority of the questions that people ask, certainly for visas and things like that. I bet you're missing the UK. I'm missing the UK like a hole in the head. No, not at all. Hi, Les, watching from Southampton, Hampshire. Southampton. I worked there for a little while. Like Southampton, it's very nice. Great to see you back home. Welcome back, Les. Your missus is happy she has her man back. Yeah, she's very happy. Lovely Thai food. I miss me Thai food, so she's done two meals, and there's one in the pan ready for when I'm finished this YouTube. And then I just love Thai food, and I've missed it. But it was nice having the foreigner food, like the English food, for a while, and then it just gets, it's not good for you, the English food. I'll put over 1/2 stone on in 9.5 weeks, but that's due to my sister with custard slices, donuts, toast almost every day. Yeah, eating all the wrong foods, but it was nice while I was there, and I knew I was going to put weight on, but I also knew when I come back, I'm on the keto diet, not next week, the week after, and then I'll lose it, no problems, because I never have problems losing the weight on the keto diet. So I ate what I wanted to eat: kebabs, parmos. Parmos were very nice, and the kebabs were very nice, but very, very not good for you. A question: how do you find working on the electrics in Thailand? Main differences with the UK? The UK, because I was an electrician in the UK, and I was NIC registered and everything, so everything was perfect, and I had a good standard of electrics. Now the electrics over here, forgive the pun, but it is shocking. The Thai electrics, the safety book, there isn't a safety book as far as Thai electrics is concerned. I've got a socket which I wanted another socket extending to the outside, and when I opened the socket up, there's 3 red cables going into the socket. So one goes to the earth, one goes to the neutral, one goes to the earth, and they were all red. So somewhere in the ether of the house, there is a red cable connected to an earth cable, which obviously isn't good for if you want to add something else and you just guessed why you're going to do it. Also, the safety standards over here, they are improving, but it's going to be they're nowhere near as safe as the electrics in England. So I know what I'm doing over here, and slowly I'm changing my electrics when I come to different things. I'm doing solar panels and solar power, and so I do all my own electrics over here, and I have helped various other people out with the electrics as well to make sure they're safe and reliable. But my backup system works. Ploy used it twice in the 9.5 weeks I were away, and what my solar backup system is that the electric goes off during the rainy season every now and then if there's thunderstorms. What she did, I've got a backup system, so we have the fans and we can have the TV and we can have the Wi-Fi. So that worked very well for the twice that she had to use it. And we've got lights all the way around the house as well, so that the house is always lit up. So yeah, it worked. But I'm upgrading my solar panels. I've got a new inverter and 2 LifePo batteries, but I'll be doing more on that on the videos. So I hope that explains about the electrics. The main difference is that it's not very good here in Thailand in comparison to England. Is it worth buying a condominium in Thailand or just rent all the time? Swings and roundabouts, really. It can be wasted money if you're living in Thailand for a long time, because rental income, we've got somebody trying to sell stuff now, so you'll hear that in the background. Rental, it can be a waste of money, but if you buy a condo, then at least you've got the option to resell it one day and recoup some of your money back. But you can rent a condo fairly cheaply over here in Thailand anyway. And then if you have some bad neighbours, then you can move, or if you want a different location. So rent, the swings and roundabouts for both of them. Excuse me a minute. Lupa. I don't know what he's selling. No idea what he's selling. But yeah, so swings and roundabouts, really. The advantage of renting is that when you get sick of an area, that you can go elsewhere. Do you know the ratio of single men to women retiring in Thailand, please? Oh, I don't know. the ratio of single men to women, I would say it's about 98% single guys to women coming over to Thailand. I have met a few retiree women, but basically Thailand is a man's paradise, but it is. But it's also a beautiful place for any single person to live. Pattaya is regarded as the sin city of the world, and it is. And it isn't the place for a lady to retire to, but there are many other places: Hua Hin, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Pai, Hua Hin, Phuket. So there's many other places, but it's generally safe for women as well. I say the 2 or 3 women that I know, I helped a lady called Kelly relocate from San Francisco over to Thailand, and as I say, we've sort of drifted away from each other now, but she loved it over here. She felt more safe here than being in San Francisco. So yeah, you can, but to be bluntly honest, the 3 ladies that I know, or 3 of the ladies out of the 6, possibly 6 or 7 that I know, just felt lonely towards the end, lacking male company, because obviously the ladies over here, they still need friendship and things like that, and that was the problem that the ladies had, felt a little bit lonely and isolated over a period of time. And there's not many ladies that have actually stayed for the full, or still living here full time. They've gone to various, back to UK, back to America, and the other ones moved to Spain. 3 of the 6, where the other 3 are, I don't know. We've sort of drifted apart, if you like. But that's the main thing for ladies over here, is loneliness, missing male company and things like that. So that's the ratio. I would say 98% guys and 2% ladies. But it's a lovely place to live here if you like your own company, because the safety issue of it, I think, is the best. It's the best I've been seen anyway, because it is ultra safe over here. Welcome back, mate. Thank you, Lana. Lovely to be back here. Hi, welcome back. Did you purchase your single multi-entry at the airport before leaving, or just come back on a 60-day tourist visa? Now, again, I've explained to a few people about my visa. My marriage visa was up for renewal, and when my sister told me she was going in for a serious operation, I sort of dropped everything and I said I'll fly back to the UK, which I did. Now, my visa was up for renewal at the end of July, and with a marriage visa, once you submit all the paperwork, then there's a month of consideration, and you have to be in this country for that month of consideration, because then when it's over, they stamp your passport, and if you're not here, you can't do it. So we went down to the immigration department, explained the situation, that I didn't physically have enough time, otherwise I would have had to resubmit my marriage visa early. Then I would have still have had a month of consideration, which would have took me to the back end of August. And I wasn't prepared to wait, because my sister was going for an operation very, very soon. So I went to the immigration, and she said, okay, well, you can cancel your visa, just leave the airport or leave Thailand and your visa's cancelled. No need for a re-entry visa, because my visa would have run out anyway by the time I came back. So then she said, I looked at all the options, what to do, and she says, reapply for a marriage visa, new marriage visa based on marriage, non-O visa based on marriage when I come back to Thailand. And there's many other people said I should have come back on the tourist visa, done this, done that, done the other. I know a lot about visas, but I went and asked the horse's mouth at the immigration office, and she never said any other suggestion but go for the retirement visa, non-O marriage visa. So that's where I did, and that's where I've got that now, and we'll start the process again next month. So I didn't need to get the re-entry permit. But for those people that are on visas, and some people forget about this, if you're on a retirement visa or a marriage visa, to leave the country, you do need a re-entry permit. Otherwise, your visa's cancelled. In my case, I didn't need to do that, because my visa would have lapsed anyway because I was out of the country. Hi, Les in Thailand as we speak, mate. I just landed this morning. Oh, well done. Well done. Welcome back to Thailand. It's a beautiful place. Question, would I be able to do volunteer work on a retirement visa? Technically speaking, you're not allowed to do any work. Even doing voluntary work, you need a work permit. But again, it's just there are workaways and HelpX's volunteering work over here. They're sort of turn a blind eye because it's a registered charity or wherever, and they do the work. But technically, even on a retirement visa, you're not allowed to do any voluntary work. I do voluntary work for Michelle with a cat sanctuary. I do 1 day a week, 1 day a month for her, and I give donations for her as well to looking after the cats and things. So that's my take on it. But technically, you shouldn't be doing any voluntary work at all, even on a retirement visa. So it's a little bit laxed, you know. I think it'd be a very sad state of affairs if you got caught once by the immigration or the police that they're going to do anything. They'll give you a warning, I think, more than anything else. I've never met anybody doing any voluntary work that's had the book thrown at them, if you like, the sort of a blind eye which is turned. If you're helping voluntary or charity organizations, they'll turn a blind eye because, again, that's not good kudos, is it, for Thailand? But the official answer is no, you shouldn't be doing it. Question, I have family over there, Les, so we'll join them in a few years. Yeah, that's good. As I say, living anywhere in Thailand, family, it's all family orientated over here, and it's brilliant. It really is. It's what's missing in the UK. Them family looking after family is gone. Is it easy to say me, Mel's? Don't know. Can't see what that is. Me, I don't know. Hey there. He is welcome again, Les, to the land of smiles. Yeah, welcome to the land of smiles. It is the land of smiles. It's lovely. Everybody's happy over. Everybody's, you know, there's a lot of goodness over here in Thailand. Even the weather now, I'm sat with a fan on. It's okay. It's grey and overcast, but it's a brighter grey, if you like, than it is in the UK. It's been a bit of thunder and lightning this morning, bit of light rain, bit of heavy rain, sort of a mixture bag really, but it's made the grass grow. So I was out cutting the grass yesterday. I'm going to cut the edges next week sometime, but I'm glad to be back because it's my home. This is where I live and this is what I want to do. And I enjoy every single minute of it. And I think it takes for you to leave your place to come back to really fully appreciate it again. And that's what I've done. I fully appreciate where I live and what I've got. Instead of I don't know. I'm missing something there, I think. Hi, Les. It's Paul from Udentani. Welcome back. And boy, have we had some rain up here. Yeah, I've seen it. You know, really, really bad up there, isn't it? So couldn't get anything done in the house in the last few weeks. Yeah, I mean, rain stops everything, doesn't it? But I hope you're safe. I hope you're not getting flooded. And I hope everybody else is safe up there because it has been a fair amount of rain. And there's, I think, 6 people killed up in Chiang Rai area because of the floods. Let's enjoy your videos when you were in the UK. But I must say, mate, that you look 10 years younger being back in Thailand. Keep up the good advice. Yeah, and I feel 10 years younger as well. My hair needs cutting now. It's far too long. I don't like it being this long. But yeah, I'll get that cut. Couple of quid next week sometime. But I'm glad to be home. I really, really am. Could I have stayed any longer? I could have stayed much longer in the UK, but I was missing home. I've got a wife over here. My life is over here. I went to be supportive and to help my sister, and that's why I went back to the UK. But my time is done. I've done more than my fair share, and now it's time for her daughters and her son to step up to the mark and carry on, you know, the support that she needs. It's going to be a long, long road for recovery. When did you get to Thailand? I arrived back in Thailand on Thursday. Thursday night, and I caught the bus from the airport up to Jomtien, 143 baht, and I stayed in a hotel 100 meters away from the bus station, and my friend came and picked me up in the morning. So I actually got back home Friday afternoon. So yesterday was my first full day back in Thailand, and I did the gardening and the cleaning up back at my house type thing. And I've been doing it today. That's why I'm still in my work gear. A friend of mine came round to see me, to say hi, so I didn't have a chance to get. So this is it. This is me working gear, me, all sweaty and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. 9.5 weeks away, a long time. Hi, Les, 9 days to go, and I will be at Heathrow. No more Sonny Wagner. Good for you. I was at Stansted Airport. Wow, that's only a very small airport. And but I was there for 5 hours. I caught the train all the way from Redcar to Stansted Airport, 4.5 hours, and it was seamless. I was 5 minutes late getting to the airport, so it wasn't too bad, was it? And only £48 by train to get from Redcar to Stansted. Changed trains twice, and the longest I had to wait for a change in train was like 10 minutes. Brilliant. Really, really good journey down there. And the plane over to Dubai, it was very, very full, but the plane from Dubai over to Thailand was not even half full. So I had 4 seats to myself. 4 seats for myself. So I laid down on the 4 seats in the middle aisle, and it was fantastic. I did have a little giggle at myself, all those people in business class. I had more room with 4 seats than they had in business class. And I even considered business class just as a one-off, but I'm glad I didn't. I would have been very disappointed. 4 seats, I was out like the count for a good hour or so. But that was Emirates. £340 to fly to London from Thailand, and 360 to fly back to Thailand from London. Welcome back, Les. Happy homecoming. Best wishes and all. Thanks for the help to you employ. Philip in Newcastle upon Lyme. Back in Thailand in 3 weeks. Okay, good for you. Hurry back. Question. How did you initially deal with the heat and humidity in Thailand when you first moved out there? Did your body adapt quick? It's just one of them things, you get used to it. I mean, like I'm hot now because for 9.5 weeks, it was cool. So I was walking around with a jacket on and things like that. And I felt, even when it was hot, not as hot as it was over in Thailand now. And now I'm hot and I'm clammy and I'm sticky and I've got the fan on. But it'll take me a few weeks or so to reacclimatize back to that. But Thailand isn't for everybody. If you don't like the heat, Thailand isn't a good place, because it's hot and humid now because of the rainy season. And it does have a very, very hot, very, very hot and humid season for 3 months as well. And there are many people who complain about the heat. Now, I've sort of got used to it. I've lived here now for 12 years, so I'm used to it. But it's still hot and sticky and uncomfortable. But I would sooner have them 3 months of hot and stickiness and sit in front of a fan or under the air conditioning than have the 6 months of the cold, dreary, drab weather in the UK. So basically from October till April, you're stuck indoors because it's cold, having to have the central heating on, or just keep warm or something, or jumpers. I walk around in a t-shirt all the time, which is fantastic. And if you're too hot, just go jump in the cold shower, and that cools you down anyway. We don't have air conditioning on, even in the peak of the hot season. We just have 2 fans in the bedroom. And for me, we can still sleep okay with just the 2 fans on. But if you get used to living in with the air conditioning on all the time, you do get used to having the air conditioning, and then you're just stuck indoors all the time. This is where I sit now on the sofa outside there. This is where I had my coffee this morning, and I'll have a kip in that, or I'll have a little sleep in that after I finish with the YouTube. It's just lovely. I'm back home. This is my life on the big veranda that I'm sat here outside. It's just lovely. So yes, you can get used to it, but it does take some getting used to. Is a long answer to the quick question that you asked. But you've just got to try it and find out yourself, really. How long did you live in Thailand before you met your wife? I've been in Thailand for 12 years and I met my wife 8 years ago. But I had a couple of girlfriends before then. One of them, well, my first proper girlfriend that I had here, she was a lovely girl, butter wouldn't melt in the mouth. And then she had a hysterectomy operation. And that sort of turned her and she became a violent girlfriend. In fact, I've done a video on that, living with a violent Thai girlfriend. She came at me 3 times with like not a machete, but a meat cleaver. And the last time I thought, no, that's enough. We'd been to the doctors, we'd been to the hospital to try and figure out whether it was hormonal problems like that. No. And the doctor said she needs a crazy doctor. And then twice she attacked me. I was covered in blood. I never ever hit the girl when she used to smash me stuff up, and she became like the girlfriend from hell, really. So the third time when she attacked me with a meat cleaver, she went to hit me, but it hit the countertop, the wooden countertop, and it got stuck in. And she then realized herself that, my God, I could have killed him. And she just said, okay, I'm going to go. Because we obviously discussed, I said, if you do this again, you're going, we're finished. And she did. So it was sort of a quick breakup, if you like, and off she went. Then I had a few other girlfriends in between, and I was a little bit disillusioned with living in Thailand because what was going on. And then I met Ploy. And Ploy, we've been together now for 8 years. We've been married for 6 years now. And she is one of the nicest people that one could ever wish to meet. As honest as the day is long, truthful, reliable, honest, sincere. I can't sing her praises enough, can I? And it's true. And I do believe that. And we have a good lifestyle together. We click, we like most things together. She's very good at English. She's learned a lot of English. And we can have a full-on conversation over any subject, really. She probably still only understands 80% where I'm talking, but I can't learn Thai because I just haven't got the skill to learn a language. I can do many, many things, but learning Thai is one thing that I can't do. And although she's trying to teach me, I've got a monotone voice, so I speak the same level, where Thai voice or Thai language goes up and down and forceful and soft. And by each one of them actions, it can mean a different word. And I'm no good at doing that. Many things I'm good at, but speaking foreign languages isn't one of them. So yeah, we get by. But there's another guy that he came to Thailand. He met his girlfriend online, and up to now they're very, very happy together. He lives up north somewhere, and he's moved into her house with her, and everything's going well. So go with your gut feeling with a girl that you meet, whether online or whether you meet her, face to face. There are some beautiful girls, some nice girls here, but there are also some sharks. So you have to go with your gut feeling. Question: can a visa agent get me a car driving license and a motorbike license? I am using an international. Yeah, visa agent. If you send me an email. The email's in the description below, and I can send you to a visa agent who can get you visas, get your driver's license and things like that, opening a bank account, you can do everything. And I always send him to this same guy because he's trustworthy and he's never let anybody down in the 2 years that I've known him. So yeah, he can do that. He can get you a driver's license. It's about 4,500 to 5,000 baht, I believe, for a driver's license. So don't quote me on that, but it is around about that figure. And to get a visa with a bank account is about 29,000, 30,000, something like that. But yeah, he can work his magic and get you a license, no problem. It's hot, but it really cools just after the. Yeah, it's like now because we've had a bit of rain this morning. It's cooled everything down. I cut the grass yesterday. Wow, it was hot and sticky yesterday, but now it's been raining and the grass is done. I was going to cut the hedge, and thankfully, because it was raining this morning, I'll put that off to another day. Bad floods in Nong Khai and Chiang Rai. My mate lives in Chiang Rai, flooded his house. So sad for Bruce, Joseph. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, in my days in the fire brigade, I went to many, many flooded houses and buildings and properties. So I know what it's like. It's devastating for those people who's been affected by it. And my thoughts go out to those people who've suffered the loss. Need to bring your UK driver license together. Yeah, you still need a driver's license. If you check your own driver's license, but if you don't have a driver's license, even to do the Thai test isn't difficult. It's time consuming more than difficult. If you know the road signs in England, you'll pass no problem doing the tests in Thailand. It really, really is simple. And you get every single potential question you could get asked and all the answers also. So you just read the information booklet that they give you. It's got every single question they can ask you with every single answer. So just read the book and you'll pass the test, no problem. And the driving test itself is about 5 or 10 minutes long for both motorbike and car. It's not difficult at all. You'll look $1 million since you returned. Greetings from sunny Newcastle on the Lyme. Thank you very much. I feel amazing as well. I was wide awake this morning at 3 o'clock this morning because I'm just readjusting back to the Thai time again. But I always feel better coming back this way than going back. It took at least 2 weeks to get used to the jet lag going back to England, but coming back here, I reckon within 3 or 4 days I'll be okay. And the Thai food as well. I'm so nice to eat the Thai food. I'm like spoiled for choice. What am I going to eat next? So we had a cup of coffee down by the beach yesterday by one of the guys that sells the tea and coffees and drinks down by the beach. It was not a nice day to walk along the beach yesterday, but we had chicken legs, chicken on a stick by one of the other ladies that works with Ploy along selling food on the beach. So chicken on a stick and a coffee for 2 of us came to £3. You couldn't get a coffee in England for £3. Well, £2.50, but £3 for a chicken on a stick and a coffee. Lovely. Hello, Les. Welcome home, mate. Thanks very much, Bill. I'm home and I love it being here already. Philip, yeah, having met Ploy, she is delightful and so lucky. Both of you make a great couple. Very lucky, man. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. We click on very well together, and we do good with bigger and better things to come also. Hope you don't mind me asking what age difference between you and Ploy. No problems at all. 27 years. Well, it's 26 years, 26 and a half years, almost 27 years difference. And but yeah, she's much younger than me. But that sort of Thais have a thing about age. It's a number. It's not a big thing. You know, many people look upon it, oh, she's a young girl, blah, blah, blah. But it works both ways, if you know what I mean. And 26 years, it works. It works for us, and it works for many other people. But if you go for the young girls who are like 30 or 40 years younger than you, then that's not a match made in heaven, and you're always going to have problems. Same with the older girls. I know a couple of guys that there's only 10 years difference. In fact, I don't know anybody that's less than 10 years age difference in their partners. So yeah, you know, you just go with the flow. And if you meet the girl that you like, and you know the age, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really bother. If you gel together, then it works. Okay, good morning, Les. Hope you had a good journey back to Thailand. Greetings from England. Yeah, I had a fantastic trip back. The train went very well. The planes went very well. And on the last plane from Dubai over to Bangkok, I had 4 seats to myself, so I had to lay down. And that was brilliant. Smooth travel. Couldn't have gone any better. And by the time I got off the plane, this was a first. I've never, ever happened this. When I got off the plane in Savannah, usually we have a long, long walk to immigration. Where the plane parked this time. He got off the plane and he was straight over into immigration. So we were sort of the first plane that was going through. Anybody that was on our plane was going through immigration. I was through immigration, off the plane through immigration in 15 minutes. And another 10 minutes later, I got my bags from immigration. So we landed at 10 to 7, and at quarter past seven, I had my bus ticket to go to Jomtien. And I caught the bus at 8 o'clock, and I was in Jomtien at 9:45, in my hotel by 10 o'clock, asleep by 10:30. Couldn't have gone any smoother. Absolutely brilliant. Can you a decent rental property for less than £500 in a quiet and respectable area? Oh, much cheaper than 500 quid. Yeah. This house where I'm living now, we used to rent this house before we started to buy it, and we paid £240 a month to rent this house. No council tax, nothing like that. We paid the electricity, obviously, and the water and the internet. But 12,000 baht a month, it's about 260 quid a month. You can get some decent apartments, condos, or houses. Even if you go to 15,000 a month, you get some very decent properties, 15,000 a month. And for 22,000, which is going up to your budget of £500 a month, you can have a friend of mine has a nice 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool, and that's much cheaper. You want play? Okie dokie. Another delivery. I've ordered some stuff from Lazada because I'm doing my solar panels again. So I've ordered some stuff, so I'll sneak off in a minute when somebody comes to it's only paying for some equipment, and but they'll be coming. Lazada over here is brilliant for deliveries and that, even on a Sunday. So yeah, £500, 3-bedroom detached house with its own swimming pool in a nice area, and there's restaurants within walking distance and 5 minutes drive to the beach. So yes, £500 a month, no problems whatsoever. Okay, you missed my question. Sorry. Sometimes if I miss somebody's question, I apologize, because answering and the questions scroll up and scroll up. So if I miss it, just rewrite it again, and I'll answer it. Mosquitoes are a problem. I'm lucky I don't really get bitten by mosquitoes. I know they bite me, but I don't come up in the red marks and stuff like that. My wife gets bit more than me over here. Maybe it's because the healthy mosquitoes over here, and I'm a little bit of a chunky guy, so they might have to bite through the fat before they get to the blood. Maybe, I don't know. But, they don't really bother me at all. So I'm lucky. And I've never really been bitten badly anywhere that I've been. But me and the wife went to Koh Chang one day for like a 7-day holiday. We had to come back after 3 days because my wife was bitten by the sandflies really, really badly. And me, not one single bite. So swings and roundabouts, really. If they do go for a certain chemical smell, and if you've got that chemical smell about you and the mosquitoes are attracted to you, there's really nothing you can do apart from using the DEET or the mosquito repellent. So yeah, mosquitoes for me don't bother me. I'm okay. Jason McKenna, best wishes to you both. I like watching your videos. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for watching. Again, and all the new subscribers that have come on, I'm sure there's a few people from the UK who subscribed, and I hope the videos do you proud. I've got over 400 videos, so there's plenty to keep you occupied on them boring Saturday or Sunday afternoons when it's raining. Will you do more videos assisted and active living? Yes, 100%, because, and I've got that in the pipeline now, because I visited a care home in the UK and I got some information off them. I got some information for how much it's going to cost for care on an hourly basis or a daily basis and things like that. I've been talking to one of the guys that runs Sunshine International. I did the assisted living video from them. There's further developments, and that he's opening up a new development. It should be finished in November, December time to fully open up in March. And I was talking to Lucas, one of the guys that deals with it, I've got a meeting with him again in October time because there's another development that's opening up. So yeah, this is going to be one of a big topic for me as well, because there's a lot of people interested in that. And I just need a confirmation of him on one or two of the questions that I asked previous to coming back home from the UK. And I've missed the emails, and it's the weekend now. So I'll call him on Monday just to confirm, edit the video on Tuesday or Wednesday, send it for their approval. So the information that I give is correct and factual and it's not misleading. So it should be out by the end of the week with regard to assisted living. And there's lots of news going to happen on the assisted living because there's so many people interested in it. I have workaround ways where you can not lose your money from if you've got a house in the UK or America or wherever. There's ways and means of, so you don't lose everything. Because in UK, if anything over £23,500, you can lose all your assets in your house just to pay for that care. Now, I have one or two workarounds, and I still need a little bit of confirmation of one or two other people so I can give the factual information. But I have little methods of being able to counteract that. All legal and above board, by the way. And so, yes, I'm going to do more videos on that. And I'm looking forward to do this assisted living one once I get all the information next week. But yeah, the assisted living is going to be a big part of my channel going on towards the back end of this year and early next year. Heat and humidity being off the scale where I am, rains late at night and no breeze in the morning. Yeah, humidity when it's raining, yeah, it's going to cause a little bit of problem. But sit in front of a fan and it's perfect. Good to see you back in Thailand, Les from New Zealand. Thanks very much, Scott. How much is a pint back home, mate? Okay, Ruddles in Wetherspoons. Wetherspoons was my favourite. Ruddles was £1.79. Doombar was, again, £2.60. A pint of John Smith's. It ranged from £2.50 to £5 a pint, depending on which pub you went into. And the Doombar, which is in the Wetherspoons in Redcar, was £2.60. A pint of Doombar in Stansted Airport was £5.05. But you're always going to pay much more money in an airport bar anyway. So John Smith's, Worthington, Tetley's and Magnet, all the dark beers, I like the dark beers, but it ranged from £2.50 upwards to £4 or £5. Yeah, that's a good price. Heard pounds, £8 in London. Yeah, that's true. Because me nephew lives in London, and I went for a beer with him the last time I was here in King's Cross, and £12 for 2 beers. Crazy. Thailand, is the Thai elite visa worth it? No, it isn't. In my opinion, there are other ways where you can do it, and it'll save you a lot of money. I have various workarounds. It isn't all the bells and whistles with the elite visa, but it's certainly cheaper, and you don't lose any money with one or two of my methods that you can do. If you want to know any more, just send me an email. The email address is in the links below. Have a look at that, and tell me what you're looking for, whether it's a 5 or a 10 year. And I've got one or two suggestions that can save you a lot of money, and you don't lose. Because when you buy the elite visa, you don't get any of that money back. So there are ways of doing it. If you can afford the elite visa, you can afford to do the methods that I suggest, and you get your money back. So you don't lose anything. But you don't get one or two of the bells and whistles, which you can pay extra for anyway and get them for much cheaper than you can with the elite visa. Geez, that's expensive. Well, yeah, any price in England is expensive. Thailand, is it then for the beer? Oh, Thailand it is for the beer. Yeah, I mean, I got a bottle of Chang yesterday, 60 baht for a bottle of Chang. When I was in Jomtien, there was a bar right opposite my hotel, so I just went in for one beer before I went to bed, and that was 95 baht for a small bottle of beer, which is quite expensive. You can get it usually for 60 to 70 baht in some of the bars, pubs that you go to. Question, I was told that it can be difficult to resell condos as they are building new ones all the time everywhere. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, it's true. The Thai people like new. There's very few people who like of Thais who like second-hand condos and things like that. And if you buy such as patty and things like that, I think the bubble's going to burst. There's oversupply and not enough demand for condos. So basically, if you're buying a condo, it's going to be yours for a long time unless you sell it really cheap. Location for obvious reasons. The better location you've got, the better chance you've got to sell it. But then you'll pay more for the price of that to buy it in the first place. So swings and roundabouts. I would say, if you're even thinking about buying a condo, to buy a condo in Thailand, there has to be 51% Thai ownership and 49%. So basically, if there's 100 condos, 51 of them have to belong to Thais and 49 of them have to belong to foreigners. So sometimes you may not be able to sell to another foreigner because the ratio might be like in the favor of the Farangs as opposed to the Thais. So then you might only be able to sell it to a Thai person, and the Thai person isn't going to pay foreigner prices. So yeah, there's various loopholes for being able to sell condos. So buyer beware, do your research, go and have a look at the area that you want to buy. And if you're happy with buying it with a risk that you might not be able to resell it as easily as buying it, and then just go ahead with it. But condos are a good investment if you want to live there long term. So that's my own opinion. But I lived in a condo for 2 years, and unless you like living in condos or apartments, I found it a little bit claustrophobic. Although I had a big balcony that I could sit on, it doesn't feel like this, like a garden. I'm in the garden, I do the work in the garden. I love the garden. I love the outside space, and there's much more room here for the same price where I'd pay to live in a condo. Okay, we're a little bit away from all the amenities, but it suits my lifestyle where I'm living, where condos can be right in the thick of things if that's what you want. I like the quietness. I like the countryside. It was always my dream to live in the countryside. When I lived in England, when I retired, I can do it living in the countryside here, and that's my choice. But I lived in 2 condos in Jomtien for 2 years, and towards the end of the 2 years, I'm thinking I can't live in an apartment. I just feel enclosed. I feel as if I'm in a box. So that's why I moved to a house. Yeah, £5. What? Yeah, £5, 5 pence for a beer in the airport. Les, given the heating allowance being stolen from the oil pains, I'd get making those vlogs in haste. Yeah, my electricity bill here, I don't have to worry about the electricity bill here because it's normally around between 12 and 18 pounds a month. So, and that's without the winter fuel allowance. My electricity bill is super cheap here. My water rates on my water bill here is £2 a month. Electricity £16 a month on average. So less than 20 quid a month. No council tax to pay. You know, and to rent this place is the equivalent of £260 a month. So some people's council tax is more than what I'm paying to rent this place. So yeah, plenty of opportunities for the people. If you've got the money to move abroad, I think now is the time to do it. Hi Les, like the previous viewer said, you're looking fresh as paint since you returned to Thailand. Yeah, again, and I'm still a little bit tired, and you know, but I'll get there in a week's time. Lose a bit of weight, back on the keto, get back to my proper self, if you like. I love being back here. It's just, it makes me put a smile on my face when I jumped on the plane in London thinking, that's it, I'm going home. This is my home now. I'm homesick when I leave Thailand. Hi, Les. How long was the stopover for Dubai? And did you get off the plane? Yes, the stopover in Dubai was 2 hours from before the next plane took off. And Dubai airport is a massive, massive airport. It took I've done a video actually about my travel back to Thailand, and it took 45 minutes to walk. Once I got off the plane in Dubai, walked in the lifts and the escalators and through the shopping malls and got to the next gate that I had to get get it on the plane. I only had to wait 20 minutes and we're getting on the plane. So it was a good stretch of the legs, which was good, wakes you up and you're ready for the next, and it just flies by like that for me personally, because 12 and a half hours on the plane at one go is a long go. The first one was 7 hours. The second one was just over 6 hours, 20 minutes. And for me, it just, although it's longer actually in the air, it just passed quicker because you're awake. And then by the time you get on, they give you a sandwich, give you a cup, glass of wine or something like that. I had a bit of a kip, woke up, give me a meal. Next thing we were landing. So yeah, an hour and a half officially, but it was like 2 hours because we landed early. So loved it. I recommend anybody to do that. Always got the direct flight, but when finally come permanently due to being around COVID, only flights were via Dubai. Found it better to get off the plane. And yeah, exactly that. I've done that, and I'll do that all the time now because I much prefer doing that than the 12 and a half hours on the plane. Highlights, they're going to tax pension from New Zealand. Nobody knows yet. It's still all up in the air yet. Nobody knows. Even the tax experts still don't know. So just see what happens. Cross that bridge when we get to it. If you buy a condo, you're stuck in one place. If you get a problem neighbours, you are stuck. If there's a political upheaval, you are stuck. And if the rent. Yeah, I mean, you could end up next door to a Russian, couldn't you? And let's face it, nobody wants to live next door to the Russians because they are causing a lot of problems wherever they go. So I would say rent is probably one of the better ways to go, but it all comes down to choice at the end of the day, because rent is sort of wasted money, whereas at least if you're buying it, you've got some saleability on it and you can recoup any losses, because if you're paying rent, it's sort of lost money, isn't it? So swings and roundabouts, really. Good day, Les. I've finally retired. We arrive in 17 days on one-way ticket. Well done. Best wishes on your future plans, and I hope everything goes well, and I can't see why it won't. Why not consider installing solar panels in your home, Les? Electricity costs are rising in Thailand, and you have the skills. That's what I'm doing now. I bought some of my stuff solar. I've got an emergency solar backup system, which worked twice whilst I was away. The electric went off, so Ploy just flicked the switch and she had power on for the TV and the fans and the lights and things like that. Now I'm upgrading my solar, and I've got a new inverter, 2 new batteries. So yeah, I'm going to do videos on that as well, and hopefully that'll reduce my electricity bill from £16 a month to £8. But the reason why solar hasn't took off really in Thailand is electricity is so cheap in comparison to the rest of the world. We have plenty of sunshine, so for me, it should make economical sense to use solar. But because, again, it's the same thing. If a Thai person did it, it's 6 to 7 years payback before you get your investment back. So yeah, I'm doing the solar, more videos of that to do. Les, have you ever been to Singapore, Changi Airport? I'm passing through there next year on the way to the Philippines. Yeah, I've been to Singapore. I like Singapore. Very, very clean Singapore. And the hotels are very expensive and very small. Taxi trips are very, because everybody's on the meter. Food is fairly reasonable. Beer is reasonable. We went there for a long weekend, me and the wife, and I liked it. But once you've been there, Singapore's so small. On a long weekend, you can see everything that you need to see. But I've never spent any time in the airport. How much is a marriage visa, by the way? Marriage visa is exactly the same cost as a retirement visa, 1,900 baht. But the paperwork that's involved in the marriage visa is a lot more. There's a lot more work to do for the marriage visa than there is the retirement visa. Retirement visa, you're in and out of immigration with 10 or 15 minutes. With a marriage visa, more like half an hour. And then you've got immigration department, immigration police come around to check that you're living at the house. He does his photographs and his inspection, if you like. And then it takes a month for consideration. Then after the month, because all the paperwork goes to Bangkok and then put you the stamp, and then you have to go back and get your stamp. So still the same price, 1,900. But the visa agents can do it, but it's much more expensive than a retirement visa to get a marriage visa because there's a lot more paperwork involved. Hi, Les. I have to leave Thailand for a short trip. On my return, do I have to report to immigration for the 90-day reporting? Thank you. No, as long as you get, if you're on a retirement visa, as long as you get a re-entry permit, then you can come back in. And your 90 days reporting starts from the day you get back. So it's not 90 days from the last time you reported. So your 90 days gets reset when you come back. So 90 days from when you get back into Thailand, that's when you need to do the next reporting. Unfortunately, I can only travel in August as I work in school. Thank God I retire in 2 years. Yeah, I mean, that's when it was more expensive to fly through the kids' holidays than it was when I think it was about £100 more expensive to fly here than it wasn't. So that's why I came back in September the 11th when the kids had gone back to school, and it was £100 cheaper. School holidays, that's why people take the kids out of school, but now they're getting fined for that. And if you do it more than twice, you can actually get a criminal record for keeping your kids off school. Crazy, isn't it? So 2 years before you retire, that'll soon pass. So work hard, save up for your future, bang the money away like it's going out of fashion, because then that comes in handy when you retire. Bobby Chan, hi Les, welcome home. I'm looking forward to seeing you fit the solar panels and wiring to your house. I will be doing the same in a few weeks. Thanks, Bob. Yep, I've got all the stuff now. I'm waiting for the delivery now. That's for some more 12-volt bulbs. You might not be able. That bulb there is on a system. I've got 6 bulbs all around the house, and that works off my emergency battery backup system. You can probably see our house from the International Space Station because it's just lit up all the way around the house. And that's the whole cost of that, including emergency electricity inside the house, came to about 10,000 baht, which is about 220, 230 pounds. And we have electricity all the time with the inverter. We only switch the inverter on if needed, but we've got the lights on the night time from 6 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's perfect for 220 quid. Doesn't matter if the electricity goes out. We've also got emergency backup. Okay, it's not strong enough to use the aircon, but we hardly use the aircon anyway. But it gives us 2 days, a full night with 2 fans working. Oh, excuse me. Here's my delivery from Kerry. Back in 2 minutes. We've got part of the solar. There are 5 12-volt 5-watt bulbs, so I can replace them ones if and when they go. But they've been working now for 2 months. So I just used one spare, but because it was flickering when I came back, so I just changed the bulb. So that's a part of my solar. So cheap, 5 bulbs, 220 baht for 5 bulbs. 200, a fiver, just over a fiver. So that's what I'm saying. Solar is cheap compared to it is in England, but for Thai people and their income, it's expensive. So, and as electricity isn't that expensive, that's why solar will never really take off big time here. So, all right, what else? Thank you. I'd like to ask you, still keeping England bank accounts so your pension gets paid? And yes, I've still got my English bank account, and my pension gets paid into my English bank account. I transfer it over to Wise, and then Wise transfers it. I transfer from Wise over to my Thai account. I'm still registered at my sister's house from my bank account. officially, if you don't have a residence in England, they can close your bank accounts. But there are certain ways and where you can negate that as well. You can get around that. But again, that's another video to do that. There are certain people, John the accountant who usually comes on here, he does a scheme where you can have a registered address to get all your posts sent to, then he redirects the post to Thailand and things like that. I think it's £250 a year to be able to do that. But yeah, there's the ways and means around it. Thank you for your vids. I like to ask you, still, I've done that. The bank accounts, yeah. 6 years old and looking for a good girl. What are the chances, mate? There are as good a chance as anywhere else, and probably a better chance over here than maybe is in your home country. No problem. They are there, but there are a lot of sharks as well. So go with your gut feeling. Go with if you. A friend always said to me, 3-strike rule, and that's good advice. The 3-strike rule is that if you've got your doubts with your girlfriend, the first one might be a little bit of a paranoia, thinking, is she taking the mick? Is she lying? Has she done this? So you forgive them the first time. The second time, you're thinking, well, I might not be wrong about what's going on, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. And the third time, get shot, move on, because you're not wrong. And I've been with Ploy for 8 years now, and I've trusted her from day one, and I've never, ever, ever, not one time, had to distrust her or not believe what she said. As honest as the day is long. So the good girls are out there. And at 60-year-olds, you can still get a good girl, no problem. But they are harder to find. There are more bad girls than good girls. But you can have a lot of fun trying. Morning, Les. Glad to see you home with the sun on with your son on their backs. Yeah, a little bit of sunshine today, but more cloudiness than rain. But it's here. Are you planning on having any family with Ploy? No, not at all. I had the snip after I had my second daughter, and I have no intentions of having any more kids, and I don't want any more kids. I'm at an age now that I want to enjoy retirement. As much as I like the kids with me, sisters, daughters, children, we had a fantastic time, brilliant, really, and the kids were in tears when I've gone. But them days are over. It is my time now, my golden years. I want to do what I want to do, and boy, there's plenty of stuff that I still want to do. And having kids stops all of that lot. Where should I look? All right, well, how long is a piece of string, really? You can go online. You can do 7-Elevens. Hang around with a group of people that were married, that are already married, get invited to their parties, because then the girls that are married to the guys that you become friendly with, they're not going to introduce you to a bad girl. That's probably the best advice, is to be with other people, with other guys that are already married, and the guys, and make sure that they're not going to introduce you to a bad girl either. That is probably the better way to go. But the internet dating is fraught with danger, because you have no idea what's going on. And to be honest, the girl that's on the internet's probably got lots of other admirers or, sponsors and things like that as well. But even the girls on the internet are looking for stability, and but that might be a bit more difficult to do. So my top tip for that is to hang around with some guys that are already married, go to various parties and events and things like that, and network. You will get introduced to, because all Thai girls know other Thai girls, whether they're nice or they're bad, but they certainly won't introduce you to a bad Thai girl. That's probably it's not as easy as it sounds, but it can be done. That's the way I would suggest people to do it. I'm new to the channel. Is Ploy the lady girl that has the coffee shop live live on YouTube? No, she doesn't have a coffee shop. She sells sausages and snacks on the beach. Now, Ploy is my wife. She does that on a Saturday, and that gets her out. She's talking to other Thai friends and something like that. She doesn't do it because of the money. She does it because then we live 24/7, and I like my space to be able to talk to the English guys, and we talk our crap. And she does the same with the Thai girls. She talks, Thai language, if you like, and so it gives us our part. And Saturdays and Sundays, I do me videos, wash my car videos, and things anyway. So she does what she wants to do. I do what I want to do, and it works. Some people like it, some people don't. Got to see you look 10 years younger than last week. Reason enough to be in a nice warm, like exactly 100%. Live stream through my phone, no adverts. Live stream through TV, adverts every 5 minutes. I can't do nothing about YouTube. They put their adverts on, and I know some people disagree with it, but it's a platform that YouTube control. I have no control over the adverts. And for those people who are still not monetized yet, YouTube still shows adverts on their programs. Do you think the 10,000 baht handouts are good for the economy? Well, it's certainly not going to be a bad thing, is it? I mean, 10,000 baht will come in handy for many people. Retire, don't give up. Hi, Dave. Retire, don't give up. Hey, Les, just checking in. Hi there, Dave. Dave's one of the guys that I helped come over to Thailand, Canadian guy. And he's done well since he's here. So have a look at his channel, Retire, Don't Give Up. And for all these newbies that are coming onto my channel, he is a newbie, and he'll tell you how he's got on, what he's doing, and how he's doing it. So he's a guy from Canada and a good channel to watch. And so you can ask him all the questions about starting. I mean, I've been here 12 years, so I've sort of been there, done it, and got the T-shirt. Whereas like Dave, Retired and Don't Give Up, is just starting the process. He's sort of almost a year into it now. But he's an interesting guy, and he's just bought a brand new motorbike as well, so he can go through the process of buying motorbikes, whether it's worth shipping your stuff over from another country over to here. So yeah, he's a good guy to ask. So have a look at his channel, Retire, Don't Give Up. Morning, Les. Can you get to Hong Kong Dong in Thailand? Hong Kong Dong in Thailand? You can get anywhere in Thailand. How much for a company or agency to sort out a marriage visa? Is it better to let the agency do it? Thanks. Well, you've still got to get the same amount of paperwork to give to the agent. And, he doesn't do all the paperwork. There is a certain amount of paperwork that you need to fill in. But again, how much an agent charges to do a marriage visa, I don't really know, because I've done it all myself. Retirement visa, that's up to 30,000 baht and more. And the marriage visa is more complicated, so I would imagine it's going to cost more money than that. But the marriage visa, you can do it yourself. Nothing is impossible over here. Anything can be done if you put your mind to it over here. So I would suggest tread the path what others have and do it yourself. You'll save yourself a fortune. 1,900 baht for a visa compared to 40,000 baht for somebody else to do it. YouTube channel is very intrusive with adverts. You can't understand. Yeah, but that's it. YouTube gives you the platform, and they're making their money from it as well. So it's sort of a win-win situation. I get a little bit out of it as well. For every 1,000 views, I only get $3.50 thereabout at the good times, and in the bad times of the year, it's less than $2 per 1,000 views. So I don't make a lot of money from it, but it's better than nothing at all. If we have thousands of illegal immigrants getting treatment, I don't see why not. I must have missed one of the other, what somebody's talking about. Hi, Les, good to see you back in Thailand. Very pleased to be back in Thailand. Thanks very much for mentioning it. How much do you make from YouTube videos? Does it compensate for Les? Again, I make $3.50 per 1,000 views. My average is between $100 and $150 a month. So the amount of time that you put into it, it's not good, but it's better than nothing at all, isn't it? I do it because it's a hobby, keeps me interested, and I've done over 430 videos now over a 4-year period. So yeah, it's more of a hobby than income. But I'm not going to turn down $100, $150 if YouTube are going to pay me for putting the content out. There's some other YouTubers that are earning up to $1,000 a month. But hey ho, they have their, I'm sort of a different niche in comparison to the people who talk about Patria and things like that. That's totally a different niche. But I don't go there, and they don't go on my way, because it's two different niches. Although I've been to Patria, and I used to take people around Patria. In fact, I still do it occasionally, take people around Patria and show them the ropes, if you like. But them days are over and done with me. They've gone. But I do still do it occasionally. Okay, thanks for replying about Ply. I watch one that makes coffee. Congrats to you and yours. I can't see one. There's a couple of girls on there that make noodles and things like that, but they're jiggling the bits about. Ply certainly doesn't jiggle any bits about whilst making her sausages and snacks type of thing. And she doesn't like being on YouTube anyway, so you might see the occasional shot of her, but she'll never ever come on and do anything on YouTube because she just doesn't like it. Grain Cool here in Berkeley, the same with Redcar, no doubt. Now with all the OAP is going to die this winter because of Turkey. People will be following you, Thailand, and those homeless, no doubt. Yeah, that's a wrong call for me, what he's done. And the risk factor that they should have looked into it, they reckon there'll be 4,000 more deaths because of his situation. And, that might be wrong, but it only takes one person. One person is as bad as 4,000 in my mind. So wrong in making his judgment for that, when there's other things you could have done. Right, have a bank account back in the UK, made trouble getting a card sent here as they destroy them. No, I've had cards come from England to over here. Just have it on secure delivery or registered post, and I've got it, no problem. How old, mate, can you talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles? Whoa. I don't think you can talk for very long with a mouthful of marbles, can you? Hi there, mate. Back to Thailand. Oh, it's just gone there now. I guess all the comments have just jumped up now, so there's lots have gone. You're up to 12,500 subscribers now. It's steady growing. Yeah. And I say I've got over a couple of thousand subscribers once I travel back to England, which was great. And thank you very, very much for all the subscribers. I enjoy talking and helping other people, and that's what goes, and that's what's showing. You must be missing the UK by now, especially the cold, grey, miserable weather. Spot on, yeah. I missed it for about 30 seconds. Hi, Les, I enjoyed the Redcar videos. Myself and the wife heading off to Redcar tomorrow, and we'll be stopping at the rugby club in our motorhome. Yeah, the rugby club's good. The Stray, there's over 50 motorhomes, and that's free parking down by the Stray. Not the Stray, the South Gay. Met a few van lifers down there. That was good. That was a good day out. Hi, Les, if I moved to Thailand permanently and did not keep my official address in the UK, God forbid I got the serious illness, would I be able to return to the UK for treatment via this? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's so many trolls on here with regard to if you go back to the UK, you're only going to use it, for your gain, and you shouldn't be entitled to it because, you've left the country, blah, 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 blah. Tell that to the hundreds of people that are arriving on a dinghy every day. You shouldn't be getting the treatment and things like that. You paid into the system all of the years. So, yes, you can return back to the UK and you will get treatment for it. No problem whatsoever, in my mind, because you've already paid for it. So, yeah, I would say no problem. I've made the choice that if I get ill over here in Thailand, I will not return back to the UK for instance, if I got a terminal illness and for treatment. And if I couldn't afford the treatment over here, well, then I'll just die. As long as I got the treatment for pain relief and stuff like that, that's the choice I've made. Why would I go back to England to prolong my life for maybe it's another 6 months or a year or even 2 years or so when I don't want to go and live there? Because if I was ill, I'd have to stay in the UK anyway. I'll see me days out on this sofa over here, looking at the sunset and sleeping on that hammock there. But that's my personal choice. I will not be going back to the UK to use the health services for any illness whatsoever. Hi, Les, have you ever looked into getting your pension into a Thai bank account? Heard people have done it. I wonder what happens about the tax and stuff. Yeah, I can do it. I can transfer my 5 brigade pension and my state pension can get paid directly into a Thai bank account. But that's still more expensive than doing it into the UK bank account than transferring it through Wise over to the Thai bank account. Swings and roundabouts, really. If the bank cancelled my bank account, then that's the only way I'd have to do it. But there's always a way of doing it. But it's much cheaper to do it the way that I'm doing it, and I'll stick with that as long as I can. Thanks for the help with the visa, etc. No problem whatsoever. Thanks for the plug, Les. Just send the 1,000 baht, Dave. No problem, mate. Only joking. No, Dave's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. And another one, if you like chatting and things like that, Got to Love Thailand with Dave. He's an American guy. He's a gadget man as well. He's got all sorts of things. And he does live streams 2 or 3 times a week. Got to Love Thailand. So have a look at him as well. And the other one is Mixed Thai Travels up in Khon Kaen. He's another guy from the UK who lives in Khon Kaen, and he's another good guy to talk to if you're living in Khon Kaen or thinking about moving to Khon Kaen. So there's 3 plugs anyway. So there's plenty of YouTube channels about. Ask them people the questions that you want to know, and if they've lived here for a long time, they'll give you the answers. And I don't give any BS, and the answers that I give are truthful from the heart, and I've got nothing to gain from lying or giving you false information. What's up, Big Dong from Jomtien, Thailand? Yep, Jomtien. I like Jomtien. Lived there for 2 years. Les, can I get a retired visa at the age of 38? No, sadly, at 38-year-old, you can't get a retirement visa. The only visa you can get is the elite visa, which is going to cost you a small fortune. But now there's the DTV visa, which gives you 180 days of living in Thailand, and that can be renewed for up to 5 years. So have a look at the DTV visa. There's a few more hoops to jump through and things like that, but it's certainly worthwhile looking at. How can I get a retired visa? You can't get a retired visa at the age of 30, but have a look at the DTV visa. That's like digital nomads and things like that. And there are agents also that will do the DTV visa. I need to look into that a little bit further myself now that I'm back, because I'm usually quite good and up to date with the visas, but these have all come in the 9 or 10 weeks or so that I've been away. So I will be doing more about the different types of visas. And for you, the DT visa would probably be the best. But you can get a tourist visa now for 60 days, and then you can extend it for 30. Then you leave the country, come back in, get another 60-day extended for 30. You can do that twice in a year. So there's 9, 18, there's 270 days where you can go in and out of Thailand a year with no problems with that at all. Can you still secure an all retirement extension by showing the 65,000 baht deposit for the year without a letter from the Thai embassy? Yes, you can. You can, as long as you have the 65,000 coming in from abroad, from a foreign source, then you can still get your retirement visa. That's the income method. Some immigration people want to know where the money's coming from, such as a pension statement or something like that. But again, there's workarounds for that as well. But yeah, that is possible doing this, because that's what I do with the marriage visa. I don't have 400,000 in the bank. I have the 40,000 baht a month income method, and that secures my visa. No problem. More British immigrants moving to Thailand. and Americans and Australians and Russians, so not just the Brits. I heard that a certain Scouser is returning to Thailand given serious health. I'm waiting for the profound appeal. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he'll get there. I don't think he'll get his medical insurance, or that'll be prohibitively expensive. Yeah, I mean, he's only got sort of 15 months to live, and I can't blame him for wanting to see his days out. He's not my cup of tea, but I do. I have seen a couple of his videos, and I do feel sorry for him because he retired at the age of 62, and 62, and he's only had a couple of years of traveling about a bit. But hey ho, if he can afford to do it, then let him see out his days where he wants to be happy, as opposed to being looked after and taken care of in the UK. His choice at the end of the day. We all have our choice where we want to see our days. Okay, I heard that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's on the way. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you have to be at least 50 to get the retirement visa. That's correct. 10,000 baht to the people who you said is good working. Pay for it. Yeah, 10,000 baht to the people. That'll help a lot of Thai people at 10,000 baht. Hey, hi Les, can you put me up? No, we don't have people staying at our house, but I can suggest various hotels and resorts near us. Pattaya more like Blackpool? No, Pattaya is totally and utterly 100% better than Blackpool. Blackpool, we used to go there for our firefighters' weekend away, and it's a dump, Blackpool, and it's even more of a dump now. John McDonald, £20 super. Thanks very much. Absolutely amazing. Thanks very much. Much appreciated. I shall put that towards some of my solar stuff, and much appreciated. Thanks very much. Hey Les, were you all Bill? No, I wasn't all Bill. I was a firefighter for 30 years, and I loved it. Loved my job. Can't help but think the 10K handout is a way of getting people to go cashless. Well, but that's what's happening in the UK. They want cashless. There was 2 or 3 coffee shops I went to who wouldn't accept cash. They only accepted card. So I said, well, I haven't got a card. I haven't got a card to pay because I refused to pay it. And I said, well, okay, I'll leave the coffee on the counter. I said, I can pay by cash. They accepted the cash eventually, but that's what's happening in the UK. They want cards or online banking and stuff like that all the time. Cash still works over here in Thailand, although they are trying to get people to pay by phone and things like that. I will last out as long as I can without having to do that. Oh, well, it's all right. GTV or something like that. Yeah, it's the GTV. Destination Thailand visa. But yeah, that's worth looking at. 180 days and can be renewed up to 5 years. I think it's about 10,000 baht. The figure that I'm thinking of is 10,000 baht for a 180-day visa. So that's almost 6 months, 10,000. So like, it's reasonably priced, isn't it? It's not too expensive. Would you recommend retiring in Jomtien or Phuket? Well, Jomtien, 100%. You're close to the madness in Pattaya from Jomtien, and Jomtien's a nice area. Phuket at the minute is overrun by Russians. So if you like the Russian people, Russian businesses, I have to watch my words, but little Moscow in Phuket. There's the Russian mafia, although there is no Russian mafia in Phuket. It's all got to do with feeling comfortable. And many people that I know who live in Phuket don't like the Russian mafia. Although the Russians are everywhere in Thailand, Phuket seems to be the favorite. And that's where a lot of them are. So I would say Jomtien. But then again, I mean, that's for me to say, isn't it? I would say go and live in Jomtien for 6 months. Go live in Phuket for 6 months and see what you think yourself. You know, it's only you that can understand whether you like it or whether you don't. So 6 months in either place and you'll get the feeling of it, whether you want to live there or whether you don't. Hi Les, don't give up your day job. No, I've never had a day job for the past 14 years, so I'll never have to give up my day job. Welcome back to Thailand. Very jealous. It's raining in Barnsley, but 5 weeks until I fly to Chiang Mai. It's raining in Chiang Mai at the minute. There's some big floods in Chiang Rai, so that might work its way down the river into Chiang Mai. Fingers crossed it doesn't. But Chiang Mai is a lovely part of the world, much better than Barnsley, I think. So good luck and best wishes for your travel. Have a safe trip and enjoy Chiang Mai. I'm sure you will. Presumed firefighter pension accrues no tax. Yes, firefighter pension does accrue tax. I pay tax in the UK. And going by all of the pundits and the warriors, keyboard warriors over here, I'll be paying tax on my pension also. I've had 2 tax experts and they both give me different advice. One tax expert said I'll pay tax and the other tax expert said I won't pay tax. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. In reality, there's going to be ways and means around it. With tax, there's always loopholes, isn't there? So you just wait for the clever tax people to find the loopholes, and we just use the loopholes that everybody else uses as well. So am I worried about it? Not at all. It'll be what it's going to be. What's your cup of tea, geezer? Chang beer is my cup of tea and coffee. So that's my drink that I particularly, but I'm not a big drinker anyway. But Chang, I like a Chang every now and then. David, you pay tax on any income that is over the tax threshold. I have a company pension and it is taxed. Yeah, it's just like everything else. I still pay me taxes in England on my pension. So for the people who say that I shouldn't be entitled to anything in the UK because I've left the UK, I've been left the UK for 14 years now, I still pay my taxes in the UK. So for me, that's got to attract some sort of benefit by paying the taxes. Otherwise, and there's no way I can get around not paying the taxes. And with the Thai government, the way that they're going to do it, I'm still going to get taxed, even though I paid tax. Even though we have a reciprocal agreement, tax agreement, I still may be taxed on the money that I bring over here to Thailand. But it's like everything else. There'll be workarounds for that. I'm not worried about it at all. Would it make me leave Thailand? Not at all. Even the worst case scenario of paying another £120 a month, I don't pay any council tax here. If I had a house in the UK, council tax is £125. I'd just look upon it as a different tax, and it's not prohibitively expensive to put me off living here because I live a far, far better lifestyle over here than I ever could do in the UK. So no, it's never, ever going to be prohibitively expensive for me to stay here. Do you think the strength of the Thai baht will affect the tourism? Yeah, the Thai baht against the UK pound has gone up. So now I think we're 3 baht down in the 10 weeks that I was away. That does make a big difference on people's income. But when put everything else into perspective, swings and roundabouts. Some days it goes up, some days it goes down. But the cost of living here is far, far cheaper than it is in the UK. So, you take the rough with the smooth, and I'll still take it over here because at the lowest it got down to 37 baht. So at 43 baht as it is now, 43 and a half baht, that's still better than 37, isn't it? HMRC want every last penny. Yeah, they do, and they will take every last penny. Now, we've done a couple of videos on your pension because your state pension is frozen over here in Thailand because it's not a reciprocal country. But I have workarounds to be able to counteract that. And one of them is go and live in the Philippines for 185 days. And then if you haven't had any rises for a few years, then it's worthwhile doing because of the percentage rise. And the example that I give is if you didn't have a rise from 2019 till 2024, that's a 24% rise in your pension if you went and lived in the Philippines for 6 months. And it's worthwhile doing that because over a 27-year period, over a 10-year period, that's £27,000 extra you'll get. So if it costs you £6,000 to live over there for the 6 months, which isn't going to cost you that amount of money, but if you say £1,000 a month, you're still going to be £21,000 better off if you did it than if you don't. And I've done a couple of videos. Some people doubted that you can get the rise for doing it 185 days, but I've talked to the horse's mouth, if you like, in the HMRC, and they said, yes, you can. As long as you live in that country for 6 months in one financial year, you can get your rise and it'll stay that rise. But I've had another email of somebody else today. He spoke to the person in the HMRC and they said not. So, and they wouldn't put it in writing. So why have the rule if they're not going to abide by the rule? Unless, of course, the stammer has come across this and thinking, oh no, okay, we're not gonna give the increase if you did this type of thing. Who knows? In October, everybody's going to get a huge wake-up call as far as extra taxes that they're going to impose on everybody else. And I think the motorist is going to get absolutely well and truly hammered. But that's my opinion. I'm not negative, it's my opinion. But I can see the writing is on the wall. We still pay our taxes. Yeah, again, everybody still pays the tax. BAT, not BAT. Okay, BAT, it's money, isn't it? Want to get people to pay tax here, but won't be rushing to do the reciprocating increase in the state pension. Yeah, exactly. Well, they've had a meeting over it. Apparently, it's a 70-year. The rules were changed 70 years ago, and there was a meeting in the Houses of Parliament because they got up a petition to alter the rules, and it was a question that was answered in Parliament. It was answered, we have no plans in the immediate future to alter this ruling. Discussion finished, discussion over with. 500,000 people around the world under this system where they will not get the annual increase because they don't live in a reciprocal country. Imagine if they had to pay the 500,000 people. That's why they ain't never, ever going to alter it, because it means them paying more money. So, but there's other ways that you can do it, by going to live in a reciprocal country for 185 days in a financial year, and then you can get the increases for the rest of your life. Some pensions accrue no tax, those classified as local government. Yeah, I mean, if they want the penny's worth off you, they'll make the rules up as they go along. So we'll see what happens. Again, it's no good panic. It was due to come in on the 1st of January, and here we are now in September, and they still haven't made their minds up yet. So what they're going to do? I heard on the grapevine that it's going to be the end of this month. So let's see what happens. The end of this month. But they've been saying that in March, April, May, June, July. It'll come when it comes. And when it comes, don't panic about it, because there will be people who can help you out. In fact, there are people now who will charge you 7,000 baht to sort your tax affairs out. And in reality, up to now, you don't have to pay any tax. So you're going to pay them 7,000 baht just for them to say, oh, you've got no tax to pay. Wait until it happens, and then we can sort everything out. And I was told that there's not enough tax accountants to deal with the Thai people paying the tax, let alone having another couple of million foreigners, having to pay tax and having to deal with the financial complications as far as paying taxes concerned. Where they're going to get all of these tax inspectors from? Yeah, there you go. And Thailand will shoot themselves in the foot, because those people who can afford to go and live elsewhere around the world won't be spending their money in Thailand for 6 months of the year. They will lose far more money by doing what they're planning to do than just ignoring it. Some pensions. I think everyone you're chatting to haven't gone back to the psych ward. The lunatics are now in charge of the asylum. and that's the Labour government. Sounds about right, and normally they don't even have to contribute for their pensions. Must be some women who retired at 60 and emigrated to Australia to near family whose pensions must be a pittance. Yeah, there is. Again, it affects everybody, doesn't it? And they ain't going to change the ruling, that's for sure. I don't claim my pension for another 2 years. So in two more years' time, then I'll be going through that hoop, if you like. But what I was told, again, some people say I'll use my sister's address, use my mum's address, dad's address, aunts, uncle, nephews, wherever. I'll just say I'm living there. And yeah, you can do that. But if the HMRC find out that you're doing that and you're living over here in Thailand, then they can claim all of that overpayment back. And they will do it, because when all's said and done, they're just looking for every single penny that they can. And with modern day technology now, they just need to look at where you're living, find out on your passport where you are in the world, if they really, really want to look at it. And then they can claim all of that money back that you've been overpaid. And then that's classed as fraud, and you'll get a criminal record because of it. And if you get a criminal record whilst living in Thailand, Thailand can make it more difficult because you've got a criminal record. So I'm always honest and truthful and above board, and I'll be telling them I'm living in Thailand full time. So it will be frozen, and I don't mind that because I know in like 4 or 5 years after claiming it, I'll go and do the Jolly Boys holiday to the Philippines, or live in 2 reciprocal countries. You can live in Turkey for 3 months and live in the UK for 3 months, as long as it's 185 days in a reciprocal country within the financial year. Then you can claim all your rises, and your rise will carry on for the rest of your life. So there are ways of doing it, but yeah, it's like everything else. You have to jump through that hoop. Question: are there many properties like your rent to buy, please? I'm getting a few people who are interested in selling their properties on the rent to buy scheme. It is a good scheme, but you have a less of a choice. 5 years seems to be the sweet spot for many Thai people. If you want to buy a property over a 5-year period, that is probably as long as that they're going to give you to be able to buy the property. 7 years is sort of too long, and they don't want to wait 7 years. But yeah, I've got a couple of people who will want to sell their properties on a rent to buy scheme here in the Rayong area. And it's about 3 to 3.5 million for the properties over a 5-year period. So it works out about 40,000 baht a month for a 5-year period. And yeah, you can do that. But again, the choices are a lot limited than if you had the cash. So yeah, rent to buy system, you can do that. It is available, but the choices is, your limited choice. Have you kept a UK mobile phone number? No, I haven't. I don't have. I've just cancelled my UK phone number that I had when I was over there for the 10 weeks. Do you own property or rent? Which part of Thailand? I'm currently buying the property that I'm in over a period on a rent to buy scheme with my landlady. So as a foreigner, I can't own any. Well, I can own the property, but I can't own the land that it sits in. So I have taken precautions in doing this, and I tell everybody to go take precautions so you don't lose everything that you're buying in Thailand. There's ways and means around legal ways of doing it as well. That for those people who have lost a lot of property and things over here, they haven't done their due diligence and they haven't taken care of it. They've trusted the person 100% that they're with to come to a sticky end and lose everything. So I've taken precautions to doing that. And if you want, I can advise you to go and see a lawyer, and he will tell you, swings and roundabouts. And if you're going to marry a Thai girl, prenuptials and things like that, you've got to do it over here, because when you get to retirement age, you don't have a second chance. Once you can't recover from another divorce or losing everything over here at the age of 60-ish. So yeah, do your due diligence, check everything, and if they don't like, if the Thai partner that you're with doesn't like what you're doing, then she doesn't want to be your partner, if you put it like that. So you've got to be fair, but you can take precautions so you don't lose out. With a large state pension rises over the last few years, won't be long before it. Yeah, because of the fiscal drag, the tax rise won't, the personal allowance won't change until 2028. Isn't it funny how the Labour government aren't altering that either? So the fiscal drag will carry on to do in 2028 because the Tories introduce it. But can't the Labour government undo all of that lot? Are they going to do it? No, because it suits them. So yes, eventually the increases will be taxed, even though the Tories said it wouldn't be taxed, but the Labour have never said that. So I think you will be paying taxes on your state pension as well, which is shocking. You look much healthier already since moving back. Looks like you lost 5 years of your age. I just came back from a 2-week stay, felt much healthier, drinking a lot of water and not eating junk food. Yeah, I feel much healthier. I feel much better. I'm happy, smiling, Les. No bad news. All good news about living over here. I think the grapevine you're chatting to have. I think the grapevine you're chatting to have been drinking too much beer. Up to them. Beer, wine, or whatever. I like the grapevine. I like the red wine. I bet you're glad to be back in Thailand. 100%. I couldn't agree with that statement anymore. So happy to be back here living in Thailand. It's fantastic. I tell everybody to go and live in Thailand. But it's not for everybody. At the end of the day, some people complain about the hot and stickiness and uncomfortableness and the language and stuff like that. But if you want to put these problems in front of it, then you'll never succumb to it. You've just sort of got to adapt and get over that. The heat, you do get used to over a period of time. The language barrier is always going to be there. But I struggled to learn Italian and I struggled to learn French when I lived in them countries as well. So I'm clever at doing a lot of things, electrics and DIY and stuff like that, where some people who can speak a foreign language can't do any DIY. So horses for courses. Some people are good at things. I'm not good at languages, but I get by. I don't struggle with it. Point and press, smile, and especially now with technology, with Google Translate, and there's some various apps that you can get that does the translations for you. And it won't be too long before you speak into the phone and the phone will speak out exactly the same space that you're talking into it. Within 5 years, that will be around for everywhere. It's all clever stuff, isn't it? Have to say, I didn't miss any food from the UK. I was there for as long as you. Don't go down the beer route as much as better environment, health and wise. Yeah, the only thing I brought back from England is HP brown sauce. I never brought anything else back because I don't miss anything. I can get wherever I want to eat, where I fancy to eat over here. So there's nothing I really miss from the UK. HP brown sauce, that's the only thing I've put in my suitcase to bring back. Everything else I can get here. Let Samsung phone can do live translation now. Oh, there you go, live translation now. I bought one. It's amazing. Oh, very good. That's something to look into as well, isn't it? Because that is a big problem most people have, is the language barrier. A friend of mine bought the earbuds that does the translation, but there's a delay in that as well. So, and some people have got a little phone, but it's just like a Google Translate, but you're paying a lot more money for it, and you speak to it and you can speak the language. But the Samsung phone, that sounds very interesting. I'll have to look into that. It'll be interesting. Heading out, Les. Enjoy the show. Well done, Dave. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for joining us and making your comments. I hope you get a couple of more subscribers. Again, Dave from Retire Don't Give Up. He's a Canadian guy who's just moved over to Thailand. So if you want any questions for the newbies, have a look at Dave's channel, and I'm sure he'll fill you in also. A nice guy to speak to. Samsung AI on the Ultra 24 phone is incredible. I'll have to have a look at. HB sauce is in Big C and Top's expensive. Yeah, that's why I brought a big bottle of it home from here. I'm 37 and want to move to Thailand in the future. Any advice for now? Yeah, DTV, Destination Thailand Visa. You can get that for 180 days now, and then you can renew it for up to 5 years. That's probably the best visa at the moment to go on. But that costs you about 10,000 baht for the 180 days. There is a few hoops to jump through, but not impossible. Apparently, I've heard there's a few agents that can help you for obviously a fee to be able to do that, to jump through them hoops. But it's possible, and that's probably one of the best visas that they've brought in lately is the Destination Thailand visa. So have a look at that. I'm not au fait with it at the minute because I've been away for a few weeks, but I'm usually quite good on visas. So I'm going to do a little bit of research on the DTV visas. So in the next live stream or something like that, I might even do a video on it. But I'm pretty good at the retirement visa and marriage visas and stuff like that. The other elite visa, that's another one where you could get over here at 37, but it's very, very, very expensive. And for me, it's not worth the money to do that. So DTV visa, have a Google of that and you will see. Would you put your UK pension direct into the Thai bank? No, I pay that into I will pay that into my English bank account and then transfer it over through Wise, because going from the pensions department straight to the bank, you pay a lot more charges and it's much more expensive to do it that way. Lost over 10 kilos since being here. Bit of Hong Thong with soda water every now and then. Yeah, because there's no calories in the whiskey or the Thai alcohol. So therefore, there's no carbs in that. There's calories, but there's no carbs. And if you do it with soda water or 0-calorie Coke, same as me, when I'm on my keto, if I fancy a tipple, I'll have the Samsung and Coke. And it's only calories, but no carbs. Earbuds are the future. Just wait for the tech to catch up, and that'll be amazing when it's almost real time. Not long. Yeah, but with the earbuds, again, like for me, on a hygienic level, giving somebody an earbud that's maybe been in somebody else's ear isn't the way forward. Whereas if you have the handset, the microphone that speaks, that's the way forward. I think the earbuds sort of maybe is a good idea for you and your partner, but not for any, because you have to get them out, and if people have got waxy ears, and then somebody's going to say, "Ooh, whose ear is that being in?" So I think that causes more problems than enough. But that's my opinion. Is it better to sell your house in the UK and rent and live in Thailand? Again, that's a personal choice. With a rental of properties now, you can have a bad tenant and it can cost you more money, and you can have the hassle with claiming the rent or evicting tenants and things like that. But if you're prepared to take them risk, I know agents can deal with that for you as well. But if you get a bad tenant, even the agents, you may find that there's a loophole that they can get out where they don't pay you the money. But that's up to you. But I personally wouldn't rent any houses, because I had 2 bad experiences renting my houses out in the UK. So I would never do that, and I would suggest people not to do it. But then I have friends who've got houses and never ever had a problem for like 15 years. Maybe that was bad luck. I have 3 packs of Kenko coffee packed for when I fly in 10 days' time. There's a coffee guy that makes handmade coffee on the beach near where my wife sells the sausages and snacks and that. And his coffee's beautiful. And I've just bought half a kilo of the coffee that he does, and it's beautiful, for 300 baht, which is about 7 quid. And it's beautiful coffee. So he's got me 2 big bags of it, so I'll give him 600 baht. And I've had 2 or 3 cups of it this morning. It's beautiful coffee. My granddad didn't trust the government, nor did Dad. Seems to be the trend. Just pack up your bag and vote with your feet. God bless Thailand. Yeah, and people are going to vote for the feet. There was some statistic on the TV the other day, how many millionaires are going to be leaving the UK because of what's going on with the tax situation and things like that. You know, the broader shoulders and the weakest people will end up paying more. And basically, it's good guys out and bad guys in. It's the wealthy people that they need, and the investors and the entrepreneurs they need to attract into the UK. But instead, they're getting all the freebie takers who are coming over in the droves. And, you know, it just annoys everybody how much money is going to these people. And they will not make any contributions towards the UK, but they will take every single bean that they can get. So they've got it wrong. They've got it upside down. They're forcing the good people out and attracting the bad people in. So anyway, am I wrong? I don't think so. You can get real-time translate on a Samsung. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Hi from India in Wales. We want to move abroad. I think many people want to do that now. I think it's so sad about the UK. I can understand why people are moving abroad. Are there lots of snakes in Thailand? Yep, there are snakes in Thailand. I've not seen many, although we've had two snakes in the house and a scorpion. Then we took preventative measures, and we've never had anything in the house as far as snakes are concerned. I've lived here now for 12 years. I've seen plenty of rat snakes and tree snakes and things like that, but I've never seen a cobra. And I don't want to see a cobra because cobras are horrible snakes and they can kill you, that's for sure. But you take big steps in the opposite direction if you see a cobra or any snake. Treat them with respect, stay well away from them. If you don't bother them, they're not going to bother you. But if you start to kill them, they will strike back, and you know, and if you're next to a cobra, that can kill you. That's seriousness, isn't it? So no, and we live, you know, in a rural area, so the snakes, we've seen a few snake skins on the walls and things like that. So, but they're more scared of you than you are them. So I make lots of noises, and if we have any areas, I've been doing the garden and get a stick, and like I'm going to be cutting the hedges. That hedge at the back of us there now. We have some birds' nests in there, so occasionally the snakes will go and eat the chicks and things like that. So I'll just whack the hedge, any snakes, and it'll frighten them off before I cut the hedge. Preventative measures, it's just a different way of living. AI only does 30 languages. I only need one, Thailand, and that's okay. Is the 65,000 baht a month income required for long-term visa, or is there other options? Being married to a Thai national for 25 years, living in the UK, but planning to retire to the Thailand next few years. Now, well, if you're married to a Thai national, then you just go with a marriage visa, and you only need to have either 400,000 in the bank, and there you only have to have that into the bank 2 months before your application. You don't have to have it 3 months afterwards. You can spend it all as long as you have 400,000 baht in the bank before renewal, or the equivalent of an income method at 40,000 baht a month. That's what I do, the income method over 40,000 baht a month. So that's easy to do. And the paperwork is a lot more than the retirement visa and things like that, but it's not impossible to do. It's easily doable. And once you've done it 2 or 3 times, then you've got a template as to what, you know, information you need, and you can do it that way. So it's not difficult. Les, you can talk into Google Translate. It isn't perfect, but you speak slowly. Well, yeah, again, I've used Google Translate. It's brilliant. I saw a live cobra once in 25 years. It hissed as it went past me on a push bike. Those things can move fast. Yep, they can. I've seen a big python as well come across the road. It was a massive python. Yeah, snakes are here. Can you take pets to Thailand to stay with you? Yes, you can. But again, there's a lot of hoops to take a pet into Thailand. I would, if you have a dog or something like that, I wouldn't bring a dog because there's lots of soy dogs about. You can't take your dog for a walk like you can back in the UK, because the soy dogs and the other dogs are just left to roam around the streets and that, and they're very possessive and aggressive towards any other dog that comes into their territory. So for me, it's not fair to bring a dog over here because it doesn't know any different, and it's super hot as well for dogs. So I would reluctantly say, don't bring your pets over here. They can have a hard time, and you can have a hard time as well. Yeah, we have a cat and we'll need to bring home. Yeah, I mean, cats are okay. But again, if you have a cat, it can attract the snakes as well, because it's food at the end of the day. So again, a cat can have some bother over here as well. There's a lady that I know that I help out at the cat sanctuary. A couple of her cats have gone missing, so I'm going to help her on the next time I'm there this month to make the fence a little bit more snake proof, so the snakes can't get into the cat enclosures and take a cat. So it's got to be a big python that actually takes the cat, because there's been no body found and the cat's gone missing from the enclosure. But we'll fix that when we get there. Thanks for that. I didn't know you just need 400,000. Do you know much marriage visa costs? Yeah, 1,900 baht. That's all it costs. The same as a retirement visa, 1,900 to do the application. So it's cheap as chips. I say you don't need the 400,000, and you can just do it on the income method at 40,000 baht a month, which is much easier. Then you're not tying 400,000 baht up in your bank account. Alice, have you ever tried any dewormer in Thailand? If so, which brand? I haven't. But Michelle, she has the cat. She has 91 cats that she takes care of. She's probably the person to talk to with regard to worming tablets and things like that. But there is worming tablets over here that you can get. So just like everywhere else in the world, I think if you want to take care of your cats or your dogs that way, there are various things that you can get: pills, potions, and lotions. Thanks, Les. I just wondered about snakes. We might move to Spain or Portugal. Thailand sounds lovely, but we want to stay in Europe if we can. Yeah, it's much more difficult to live in Europe now because of Brexit. If you want to live somewhere permanently, you have to do a retirement. Portugal was on my list of places to stay because it's very nice over there, Portugal, and it's quite easy to get a retirement visa in Portugal. If you get time, let's please do a video on the new visa, the Destination Thailand visa. Yeah, I will do. As I say, I am quite au fait with a lot of the visas, but the Destination Thailand visa is a new one that's just come out recently, and I haven't had time to do the research on that. But I will do that because it is a good visa to have, and there are many people going on that because, people are going on to one of them as opposed to a retirement visa. Swings and roundabouts for both. I mean, the retirement visa, if you do a retirement visa, is 1,900 baht for a year, whereas the DTV visa is 10,000 baht for 6 months, so that's 20,000 baht. Now, you could almost get an agent for 30,000 baht to do your retirement visa, which is much easier than doing the DTV visa. So it swings and roundabouts, really. There's pros and cons about every visa that you get. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge on visa and finances for Thailand. It's really helpful. Yeah, no problem. Here to help. If anybody's got any questions, ask away, and I'll tell you everything that I know. My granddad also told me that England is the dog of Europe and can live with fleas, but so many fleas will kill the dog. Welcome to the UK. There are words of 40 years ago. Yeah, it's going to be bitten badly, I think, the UK. We are opening our borders up to those that wish to harm us in the UK. And that's going to result in, for me, civil disturbance and, at worst, an uprising amongst the not so nice people. And that's when I've got Watch Me Words on here on YouTube, because they look at various patterns of words and things. But yeah, there's going to be an uprising. There's going to be terrible trouble in the UK, I think, in the next 5 years, and it isn't going to be good. Imagine having a hammock behind you like that in the UK. I know, yeah, like that. It's lovely, isn't it? And this one here, my wife, and this one here, my wife hangs her hammock there as well. So we can both be laid on the hammocks, and it's beautiful. Yeah, you couldn't have a hammock in the UK. Well, not for very long anyway. My immigration office insisted that the 800k has to be in for a year. Done the 90-day reporting and due for visa renewal next time, and they said need to get a bank statement for a year. Yeah, you do. You do need a year's statement, but the ruling for your 800k is 2 months before your application. It has to be in the bank, 800, and 3 months afterwards. So 800,000 is tied up for 5 months. Doesn't have to be tied up for a year, and that is their ruling. It's written down in stone, if you like. That's what they require. And they will always suggest the 800,000 in the bank, because to do the other method, the income method, it has to be 65,000 baht for a month. And on your first application, it just has to be 65,000 baht a month for the first 3 months. Then you can apply for your retirement visa. So there's no need to tie up 800,000 in the bank. As long as you have the income method of 65 a month, you don't have to have the 800,000 tied up in your bank account. And there's lots of people who don't do that. What I say to people are over 65 and towards 70-year-olds, because insurance is quite expensive at that age, especially if you haven't had it before, use the 800,000 baht as a two-tier method. One, to get your visa, no problem whatsoever, and also as an emergency backup money for your healthcare. 800,000 baht gets a lot of treatment in Thailand, and if you haven't got a lot of money and you haven't got insurance, the 800,000 is there. Even if you have to spend all the 800,000 because you've had a retirement visa, an agent will be able to do it for you, no problems whatsoever, and that's 30,000 baht to get an agent to do it. So the 800,000 for the older people, 65, 70-ish, who struggle to get medical insurance, that is a backup, and use it that way. Hi Les, glad to see you got home safely. I booked for the next year, July the 16th, for 4 weeks. Looking forward to catching up in person. Oh, looking forward to it, Dave. You know, yeah, home safe and sound, mate. I hope you're okay. And yeah, look forward to meeting you again. You know, safe travels and safe trip, and enjoy the van life. Lovely little spot we went to the other day. Never been down at the beach there before, but a nice little spot. Enjoy November. I'm sure you will. Les, does it get a bit lonely living there sometimes due to the language barrier? No, not at all. Because there are plenty of expats about that can talk. We have a brunch club every week where between 8 and 12 of us go and talk, put the world to right, if you like. And if you go to various expats groups and clubs and things like that, we have probably a better social life here than I did in the UK. We're always around somebody's house having social events and things like that. So no, it can be lonely if you want to be a lonely person, live in the middle of the sticks somewhere, not socialize or interact with anybody else. But that's up to you then, isn't it, to do? You'll find that most expats over here are friendly people anyway. And because there's fewer expats over here than there are in your home country, they're more likely to sit and talk with you. But there are some good expats and some bad expats. Don't become a barstool warrior. There's some expats who are lonely and can't think of anything, and they'll go and sit in a bar all day and get drunk, and then put the world to right whilst they're drunk, and they become the barstool warriors. And I would keep well away from the barstool warriors. That's just my little bit of advice. There's a tick here that paralyzes dogs. Had 2 affected. Thai Ridgeback recovered, but the small young puppy died, unfortunately. Yeah, sad to hear. You know, there is mosquitoes here that can give you dengue fever, which can kill you. So Yeah. In fact, there's a guy whose wife died. She just had Ricky in Thailand. His wife had 2 kids, 11 weeks old. They both got dengue fever. Sadly, she died, and Ricky didn't. He's an Australian guy. So, yeah, ticks, dengue fever, infections. It can happen no matter where you live in the world, can't it? Les, this happened 40 years ago. Our elders knew we were just shrugged our shoulders. I wish we had. Yeah, again, a lot of things happened many years ago, but we seem to forget about the past, like such as wars and things like that. What on earth does wars prove nowadays? With the technology, we kill more people and we do more damage. We still haven't learned, have we? As a human race, we're terrible. We shouldn't have to resort to war to solve all our problems. Sad to see, but you'll never stop it. Hi, thanks, Les, for your help on Visa, etc. Subscribed. Thanks very much, Matt. Much appreciated. Any subscribers, it's brilliant. I'm 12,500 now, which is very, very good. I'm over the moon with that. And the channel's still growing and growing. I'm a mind of information because I've lived here for 12 years. I've been retired for 14 years. I've gone through divorces, through bankruptcies, things like that. I have various ebooks on my Buy Me a Coffee, just $3 for an ebook on about living or retiring in Thailand. Have a look at them. All them links are down below under the description. And if it helps, it's $3, the price of a cup of coffee, isn't it? But the information you get is worth every single dollar. Same with the Keto Diet. I'm going back on the Keto Diet. I have a number of keto books on there. Again, same $3. You can't get anything for $3 anywhere else on the internet. So if you want to lose a bit of weight, also have a look at the keto books. I'm going to add more books and ebooks whilst I'm back over here in Thailand. It's something, information wise. Information is knowledge. Knowledge is power, and being able to offer it to other people. My channel is free. I don't have a Patreon site. I don't have a private member site, things like that. So everything is free. But for those people who want to support the channel, just buy me a coffee or buy an ebook and you get something out of it as well, as opposed to paying $3 a month to watch some private videos and things like that. I'd also do a consultation for $10. If anybody wants to ask any information, and that can last for an hour or 3 hours, it's still the same $10. And if you don't get the information that you want, then you don't pay. And you don't pay until you've actually got the information that you want. There are some YouTubers who charge £45 for a 15-minute chat, and you have to pay before you even have the chat with them. So I'm always open and honest and above board. And I always say to people, if you don't get the information you want, then you don't have to pay. Simple as that. And my channel will always be free. There's never, ever be any Patreon or private members group. What you see is what you get. There's no private videos. If anybody wants to know any background information, you just ask and they'll tell you. Behind the scenes, no problem. Anyway, that's my own little plug. So go and have a look at the ebooks and things like that. And, dating in Thailand, that's quite a popular ebook, is that one. Internet dating and stuff like that. Right, let's have a look. Hi, Les. Are there trustworthy people in Thailand who can help take care of your finances if you don't have family around and unable to look after your finances due to dementia? Yeah, there's lawyers available over here in Thailand. So basically, you can take care of your affairs over here using a lawyer as well. And they're English-speaking lawyers. Again, if you want any information on that, send me an email. My email address is in the links below. And I can send you to a trustworthy lawyer. And although I've slagged lawyers off on a few videos that I've done, sometimes you can't help but have to use a lawyer. But the lawyers that I slag off are the ones that divorce lawyers and stuff like that. And they are crooks with certificates. But sometimes you can't avoid not using a lawyer, just for safe, like for the house and your finances and stuff like that. So yeah, I can recommend a lawyer who can sort all that out for you for dementia. Again, I've got a friend who's got dementia, and we sorted his finances out, and we give power of attorney to his family, and we got all we got all of that lot done over here in Thailand. We got the doctors to say he had dementia, and the power of attorney was given to a lawyer over in Australia because of the certification from the doctors over here. And his family now send him a monthly payment because he has no idea. He's away with the fairies, sadly. But his Thai girlfriend does a really, really good job of taking care of him. And yeah, but putting things in place is a wise move, especially if you even got an inkling of dementia or Alzheimer's. So yeah, good question. Thanks very much for asking it. Question: I enjoyed your video with the Pacific Cross reference medical insurance. I have recently watched a video where using a broker was recommended. Also, some hospital want money, then expect you to claim it back. Yeah, that can happen with Pacific Cross. What happens? You may have to pay your first. If you have a claim, you may have to pay the first payment. But once you paid the first payment and claimed it back, then every other payment will be made by Pacific Cross. It's sort of an unknown, and if you have Pacific Cross for say 2 or 3 years, then you won't have to make the payment either, because you've been established with them, because you are a unknown entity, if you like. Is that you may have taken out the medical insurance, and then knowing that you've got an illness or medical condition and claim within 1 or 2 months, there is a settling in period between 6 months and a year for them to be happy with you and you to be happy with them. So, but you can clear that up with the Pacific Cross agent or the representative, because if that worries you, then they will do a few checks on you. You may have to go for a medical, and it's just a basic medical. It's not, bells and whistles and everything, just to be that they're satisfied with your condition and that you're not suffering from anything that you may claim for in the future. It's not a bad obstacle to jump through. It can be done, and it's not expensive. And sometimes actually you might get your insurance cheaper if you have a medical before they approve you, because then it just shows that you haven't got any pre-existing conditions. So have a word with the insurance agent or their representative, and they'll iron them creases out before you take it out. But yeah, there are a few people who became not very happy because they had to pay the first payment of making a claim. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's one troll on here now, but yeah. Okay, I don't reject anybody type of thing, but for the trolls and that, just go away. Just go and play somewhere else. Go and play with your other toys or whatever. No need for it, is there? Another keyboard warrior, maybe. Les, do you always need aircon every night to sleep at night? We don't have aircon in the bedroom. We have 2 fans, and that's all it is. What the wife doesn't like aircon, so we have the fans on every night, and even in the hot season. Okay, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but I've got used to it now, just sleeping with the fans on. You don't need air cons on all the time. Let's have a look at this. Okay, remove. Okie dokie. So yeah, I mean, we our electricity bill is 16 quid a month, so we use the aircon very, very little. But like I said earlier on in a guy that asked a couple of questions with regard to the heat wise, if you get used to living with the aircon all the time, then it's very difficult to live without it. We can live with I've just got a fan next to me here now because I've just spent 9.5 weeks in the UK, and it's cool all the time. Where now it's a bit hot and sticky, so I'll sit in front of a fan. Very cheap to sit in front of a fan, so it's easy enough to do. So no, we don't have aircon in the bedroom because the wife doesn't like it, and I've got used to it. Russians, I've lived in the last year in a very quiet condo in Jomtien. Then a young couple of them moved in 2 months ago. End of quiet time, they come back drunk at 6 a.m. and fight until they pass out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That can happen if you buy a condo and things like that, especially now with the Ruskies. The Ruskies are everywhere, and they are quite famous for disruptive behavior and things like that. So I wouldn't like to live next door to somebody like that. So that's the advantage of if you rent it, because you can't do nothing. You can't report them to anybody. You know, the people who own the condos or run the condos, they can't chuck them out. They can tell them to be quiet, but then you've got to dispute with your neighbour then, which can make things even worse, can't it? So yeah, I feel for you if that's what's happening. Sorry to hear it, but yeah, I'd move. It might have already been asked, but how was your sister? Thanks very much for asking. She's on the road to recovery now. It's going to be a long, long road. I won't go into too much details of what's been wrong with her, but it's not very nice. And yeah, she's gonna take a long time to recover. But that's why I say to people, you never know what's around the corner. So do what you can whilst you can, for as long as you can. And it is a life-changing operation that my sister's had, and you know, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but she's on the long road to recovery. But thanks very much for asking. Wish I knew about this channel a couple of years ago. It's nice to have a second opinion and someone who has been there and done it and buying an ebook. Thanks very much. Much appreciated for that. Yeah, again, I say, when I lived over here, I had nobody to ask, and everything that I've learned has been, you know, I like quite to think that I'm a positive person and I solve problems. I'm a good problem solver, and there's a solution to every single problem. And this is what I do. You know, some of my workarounds for visas, if you don't have the 800,000 or you don't have the 65,000, people can live here on the state pension of £800 a month. There are ways of getting around the system, and all legal without using an agent as well. And I can recommend and suggest ways of getting around that. And it is a country that you can legally do that as well. And it's 100% legal, because I wouldn't never say to people to do anything illegal in this country, because I like living in this country. And but again, there are ways around the system without using an agent. Les, are there stuff you miss in the UK retirement? In the UK retirement-wise, other than family, what about healthcare and food? No, I don't miss the food in the UK. The healthcare, I've got medical insurance, so no worries about that. I'm quite healthy person anyway, so I don't need to, you know, to worry about that. I'm getting older, and as you get older, health issues might arise, but I've got medical insurance, and I think I'm financially wise, I'm able to cope with any if a big occurrence happens. I think my medical insurance will cover it, and if it doesn't, I've got a little bit of spare cash that will help towards that. But I'm not a wealthy guy, so I know the risks, and if I get anything terminal here, then I'll see out my days in Thailand. I'll never return back to England for critical care treatment or stuff like that, or terminal illness treatment. I bit the bullet. I'm here till the end of my days in Thailand. Family-wise, I've got a couple of two daughters who don't speak to me at all, never spoke to me for a number of years. Another issue with that, but never mind. There's only my sister. Sadly, a couple of years ago, my stepdad died, and a few years ago, my mother passed away. So there's only my sister now. But I went back to the UK to be supportive for her in the operation that she had to have, and I spent 9.5 weeks with her. And now it's up to a daughter to step up to the plate and carry on where I left off, if you like. So no, there's no reason for me to go back to the UK. I don't miss the English food. I did miss the Thai food, and I've had a couple of Thai meals since I've been back, and oh, it's just beautiful. So no, nothing I miss from the UK. Watch Les for 2 years. In 10 days' time, I fly out to the UK for good. Okay, good. 10 days' time. Wow, that'll soon pass. Best wishes and good luck for your future move. Best thing is to just move, which is exactly what we did in the UK. Yeah, again, you can move to a better location. There's some better locations in the UK if you're not living in a nice area. Might cost you a little bit more to live, but the northeast is far better and far cheaper than living in some of the places down south. You know, not everybody can afford to leave the UK, sadly. Do we still need an insurance cover for the retirement visa? No. No, not for the retirement visa. If you apply for a non-OA visa, then you have to prove that you've got insurance for the duration of your stay. But if you come to Thailand on a tourist visa, then you can apply for the if you come to the Thailand on a tourist visa, then you can apply for a retirement visa, and you don't need to prove or have insurance for that visa also. So that's the way to do it. Don't apply for the non-OA visa outside of the country, because then you need insurance. That's 100%. But I would still advise people to obtain travel insurance or medical insurance once you're over here, because if you do need it, you need it, and I'd sooner have it and not use it than not have it and need to be used. So there's a number of people who've come unstuck over here. So travel insurance, medical insurance is 100%. Put that on top of your list. If you were considering living in retirement in Thailand, would you recommend coming out to stay for a while and traveling around? If so, how long would you stay and how much does the visa cost? Okay, it's exactly what I did. When I first came here, I traveled all over Thailand looking for a place to live, see what ticked my boxes, if you like. And where I live now in Rayong, I came here for 2 weeks and I've been here for 10 years. And I looked at all the tourist locations, you know, stunningly beautiful as they are, but you pay a price to live in them nice areas. And I've got to say, Rayong isn't the best place in the whole of Thailand to live. It's not on the tourist map. It's not on the tourist location, but it's got some nice beaches here. It's real Thai people who live here. So the accommodation is cheap. The food and the restaurants is cheap. Living here is cheap than living in Phuket. I'd pay twice as much for anything in Phuket as I do living here. I didn't even look at Rayong. The girlfriend that I had at the time took me to Rayong to go and see an English guy who ran a bookshop here. And I got talking to him and he said, you've given everywhere else 2 weeks to 4 weeks, living everywhere. He said, give Rayong 2 weeks. And I did. And I lived at Limay Pim for a week, hated it because it was too quiet. Lived in Ban Phe and I loved it. And we eventually bought a coffee shop in Ban Phe and ran the coffee shop for a couple of years. And I love it. I love it. This area where I'm lived is semi-rural, but with 5 minutes drive, we're on the beach. 15 minutes, we're in Macro and Tesco, or Lotus as it is now. 35 minutes, we're down into the big city of Rayong, where you've got anything and everything that you want. So for me, it ticks all the boxes. But yes, travel around Thailand, find the place where you want to hang your hammock and then stay there. But it's good and it's brilliant to be able to travel around. No, you don't need insurance for a retirement visa. We've covered that one. Bags packed, furniture all gone, just a mattress and the sofa to get rid of. Yeah, you want to get rid of the mattress. The sofa, actually the sofa, because you can sleep on the sofa and you can sleep on the sofa. Get rid of the mattress. Good luck. Hope it goes well. Yeah. Best wishes, and I hope everything goes well with your move. What about Bang Saray? Bang Saray, that's where Greenie lives, isn't he? Greenie travels. He lives down Bang Saray. I've never been to Bang Saray, so I don't know. I've been to Ban Chang. That's okay, but it's quite close to the industrial works, is Bang Chang. Whereas Rayong province is a big province. It's a big area, and it's a lovely place to live also. But again, do your research, travel all over Thailand before you actually settle down to one place. Not a retirement question, but what do you think of the economy over in Thailand? Are people under lots of stress in their good job market for the UK national? No, trying to work here as UK national is almost impossible. Probably being a teacher or something like that, which isn't highly paid. 30,000 baht, which is about 600 to 700 quid, £700, working 5 or 6 days a week. If you need to come to Thailand to work, then I would look elsewhere. The Thai economy is doing okay. It's not doing too badly. The one thing that I liked about Thailand is the Thais are not incredibly wealthy, but they're happy. And happiness, you know, is a big part of life. They don't stress out like what we're just trying to think of the word for it. A gadget and must-haves in England. You must have the latest gadgets. You must have the latest phone. You must have the latest car. Must have the latest of this, that, and the other. They don't do that in Thailand. They're happy with what they got. Is why I like Thailand. When I first came over in Thailand in 2002, I went to Koh Samui, and I met a girl over there, and she showed me where she lived. And at the time, I was going through a horrendous divorce. I had 3 houses. Ended up going through bankruptcy type of thing. I lived in the Mr. Jones street, best car, best house, best caravan, blah, blah, blah. And I met this girl who had nothing. And I'm thinking, these people who live here are happier with nothing than I am with everything. And I was working 7 days a week I had 4 jobs at that time. And that was the day it changed my life, because invariably Thai people are happy with what they've got. They are not materialistic at all. So therefore, if you're not a materialistic person, there's nothing to compete for, and they don't compete. If you've got it, you've got it, great. But if you don't have it, they're not jealous of it. They're not envious of it. And life just goes on. If you've got it, you got it. If you don't, life goes on. So yeah, Thailand is a lovely place for that. The Thai economy is doing okay. Thai people are generally happy with what's going on. You know, but there's always good points and bad points, no matter which country you live in. But I would say Thailand is a very, very safe, ultra safe country in comparison to many other countries I've been to. And safety is a big tick in my box. Again, we live here semi-rural. We've never, ever had anything. We had a bunch of bananas 5 years ago, got pinched from over the road. That's the only crime in our village in the past 5 years. Is a bunch of bananas got pinched. How much does a tourist visa cost, and how long can you stay? A tourist visa is free. It doesn't cost you anything. The retirement visa, to finish off answering the last question, the retirement visa costs you 1,900 baht for a year. Your tourist visa, your 60 days is free, and then you can extend that by another 30 days, which is 1,900 baht. So you get 90 days. So then you can leave the country and come back the same day and get another 60 days, which is free, and then extend that again for another 90 days, which is another 1,900 baht. You can leave the country again and come back for another 60 days, then extend it for 30 days for another 1,900 baht. You can extend your visas twice before the immigration people say, oh, what's going on here? So, yeah, so 9, 18, 27, 270 days, almost a year, you can get it on the tourist visa. And then once the year's gone by, you can start it all again. So it's very easy to do. All right, what else have we got here? When leaving the UK to retire in Thailand, do you need to book exit flight, or is it a one-way ticket? No, if you apply for a retirement visa, you can apply for it outside of the UK, and then you don't need a return flight. But there's a way of getting around that as well. Like if you're just coming here on a tourist visa and then you want to apply for a retirement visa, just book a cheap bus fare to Cambodia or Laos or something like that, or even book a cheap flight out of Thailand to say Cambodia or Laos again, or Vietnam. and therefore, by having an exit flight, that they're not going to, ask any questions. Some immigration officers will let you in without an exit flight, but some immigration officers might ask you why you haven't got an exit flight. And then them are the people who can force you to take or book an exit flight before they let you into Thailand. And then you can't get it through the sky scanners or the bucket seat, companies. You have to pay full price for it. So for the sake of maybe 40 or 50 pounds or 10 or 15 pounds, if you book a bus ticket out of Thailand, it's not worth the hassle, and it's not worth any hassle. So book a return flight, not a return flight, an exit flight, and that covers all your options as well. It saves the embarrassment, doesn't it, of being asked all of these questions when you get here, and it's not an expensive thing to do. Wanted to see an onward ticket. No, again, when I come here, because I'm applying for my marriage visa, I didn't need an onward flight because I applied for a non-O visa based on marriage. So I didn't need an onward flight. I've never felt unsafe in Thailand in 25 years, and people are generally chilled out. It's slow pace compared to the manic mayhem of the UK. 100% agree with that. Never, ever, ever in the 12 years that I've lived here, never felt unsafe. I'm on a one-way ticket and an outward flight booked with, cancel the onward flight. Yeah, that's a good idea. I've been visiting mostly every year since 1965, just missed some due to COVID. Yeah, again, it's a beautiful place to visit, that's for sure, 100%. Thanks for the advice, no problems. Just booked the cheapest flight, been to return. Hello there, Spaddy Cap. You okay? Yeah, I'm on YouTube now. Okay, catch you later. Bye-bye. Another guy. So I've had two people around today, come to see me because, yeah, anyway, it's a good social life over here. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for the advice, no problem. Welcome back to paradise. Yeah, I'm back in paradise. I like it over here, and I look forward to it. How long have we? 2 hours, 31 minutes we've been going now. Not bad, is it? On my first, getting a little bit hoarse now. But I've got lots of things to do here. Me and the wife are going to go do big food shopping tomorrow. I'm going to go to Thai what to do, order some fencing, order some gravel, order some sharp sand, and because we're going to do more things to the garden to stop the weeds from coming through in the areas that we don't particularly use for plant at the back of the house type of thing. But once the weeds get established, they grow very, very quickly over here. So it's just preventative measures more than anything else, as you would do in your own house, in your own country. So I've always got something to do. People ask me if I ever get bored. I'm never, ever bored. I've got to say, honestly, never, ever bored because I've always got something to do. I've got an active mind, which keeps me busy. We love our holidays. We love social friends and social outings. In fact, we're going on a 2 or 3 days away in the first week of October with regard to some friends going to a homestay. And then December, January, we're away up to Ban Rak Thai and then Pai and Chiang Mai for New Year and then back home. So we're away for 3 weeks in December. So we've already got a busy schedule and I'm looking forward to going everywhere. And again, I'll do videos and stuff like that as well. So I'm never bored. Hi, Les, you just panicked me with reference to keeping my UK bank account for pensions, then sending to my Thai bank account when I retire. I didn't think there was a problem. Well, there isn't a problem with it, but it's just more expensive, that's all. How much more expensive it is, I don't know. But like for when I transfer over about 65,000 baht, if I do that, it costs me about £8 in fees for Wise to send the money over to Thailand. If I did it through the bank, it's more like 40 quid. So there is a difference, and quite a big difference from bank to bank. But it still can be done. But I would say, if possible, keep your bank account open. It saves you a lot of chew and it's much cheaper in the long run as well. But they will pay a pension over to Thailand if you wanted to do that, but it's just much more costly. You're doing a great job, Les. My house is for sale in Gisborne. Once it sells, I will be booking a one-way flight to Thailand. My good lady from Redcar was friends who know you. You're a fine. Well, the house should go. The housing property is quite buoyant in the UK at the minute. So fingers crossed with your house sale. I think everything will go well. And best wishes for your future move. Well done. Was it hard to eat healthily while you... Oh, no. Sorry. Yes, it was. My goodness. I put over half a stone on. Probably towards 3/4 of a stone, to be fair. Because my sister was ill. She was off of food. So we didn't cook anything. We ate takeaways, or I ate takeaways, because she got to the stage where she didn't like the smell of cooking in the house. So yeah, in the 9 weeks that I was there, she only actually cooked twice in the 9 weeks. The rest of it was takeaways, sausage rolls, pasties, pasta, ping food, microwave food, stuff, and pizzas, stuff like that. So no, I didn't eat healthily at all in the UK. But now I'm back to Thailand, Keto Diet. I'm back on there again. Not next week, maybe it's the week after, or maybe after our little trip away in the first week of October. Because I know when I'm on the Keto Diet, I stick to it rigidly, and I know the weight comes off. And I've missed the Thai food since I've been away. So I'm going to have 2 or 3 weeks before I go back on the keto, and then I'll do it, and I'll drop the 3/4 of a stone that I've lost, that I put on back in England. But no, my sister, being my sister as well, she got me custard donuts, custard slices, tea cakes, scones and stuff like that. All the stuff that I don't eat over here. And I do like them, and she knows I like them. So she went overboard with buying all that. And I'm weak-willed. Once it's in the fridge, especially the custard slices, it's just like, okay. But that's my fault. And, I could have eaten healthily, but I chose not to. I got it whilst I can. Custard slices and donuts. My fault. So, yeah, it was hard to eat healthily. But now my wife's done a couple of meals for me, Thai meals. And once I finish this YouTube thing, I've got another meal, green curry and rice when I finish this YouTube video. And I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I can smell it now because she's cooking it as we speak. And the smells of the Thai food I've missed that for 9.5 weeks. But a Greg's sausage roll is a Greg's sausage roll, and it's lovely, especially with a bit of HB brown sauce on it. And English breakfast, I've had English breakfast, and I had a few Indian meals. Chicken jalfrezi was my favourite. Pizzas for £1.55 from Asda, margaritas, so cheap, and salads. Yeah. Only in England you can get it, and not particularly available everywhere over here in Thailand. But Thai food over in England, okay, there was a few ping meals, but they were a £5 for a meal that you put in the microwave. And I had 1 or 2, and I had the Penang chicken, which wasn't very good. But in the Thai restaurant, it was £13 for a Penang chicken. Over here in a restaurant, it's like £2. So that's one of my meals I'm going to have tomorrow, is a Penang curry when we go out for our shopping. Miss the convenience of Thai food. You can literally get food anywhere. Stalls open all hours of the day. I miss calling up local delivery and having homemade food delivered for £50. Yeah, like me, the wife went and sat on the beach yesterday. Had a cup of coffee made by one of the coffee sellers. We had chicken on the stick from another seller that was selling all chicken and for 1 coffee and 2 chicken on the sticks came to £3. And park the car right next to them. They will come to you and cook it and give you it fresh food. Beautiful. Chicken on a stick. Oh, lovely. What's the score with getting in for the UK? Do you have anything to fill out anything online? I believe they have now done away with the forms that you used to fill in before landing. Yeah, there's no forms to fill in. And going through immigration is much quicker. Again, I was through immigration the fastest it's ever been, because usually when we land in Thailand, we're well away from the immigration. So it's a long, long walk to immigration. But on this trip, it was brilliant. Emirates parked. When we got off the plane, we were right opposite the immigration line, and ours was the first plane in there. There was no other plane, so I maybe 30 people in front of me off the plane going through immigration. So I was in and out of immigration 15 minutes, and I got my bags within 20 minutes. I think we landed about 10 to 7, and I was collecting my bag at 15 minutes past 7, and I booked me bus by 20 past 7, and I was on the bus at 8 o'clock going to Jump Gym, and I got into my hotel at 10 o'clock. So not bad, is it? 3 hours from landing. From landing in Thailand, I was in my hotel within 3 hours. And the bus trip was 143 baht. Cheap as chips. You always look 10 years younger when you return to Thailand. And that could be the AI. No, I do feel 10 years. I mean, my hair is a mess now. I can't wait to get my hair cut. But that's £2 to get it cut over here, as opposed to £10 in the UK. So I just said I'll wait. So now it looks unkept, but by the end of the week, it shall be cut. And I got the same barber. He knows exactly. I just say number 4, and he just does it with his razor thing. £2. Les, you have any Thai friends? Yes and no, really. More acquaintances than friends type of thing, because no, I would say I've got no Thai friends where I go have a beer with or go and have a chat to. I think it's the same. I don't think there's many expats that will have Thai friends as proper friends, if you like. But we live in with expats community, so we always have expats. So I've always got plenty of friends and plenty of people that I know. But Thai friends, as far as friends being, no, I haven't. Not really. I say hi to a few people, and if I need any help, then they're there. Our next door neighbour, she's wonderful. She's always there. My landlady, would you class them as friends? Our landlady and the next door neighbour. If I need anything, they're there. Work there will find suitable workers for. Yeah, so not as friends as the true speaking of friends. Acquaintances, yes, but not friends as friends. What would you say is a decent pension you need to live on in Thailand, roughly? Thanks. Okay. I've done videos where you can live on 35,000 baht a month, roughly about £800 a month, which is the state pension. You could live on £800 a month a year. Would you live a fantastic life? No, it wouldn't be fantastic, but it's probably better than what you get living in the UK. But if you're on that amount of money in the UK, then you get benefits because you're on a low income anyway. Whereas in Thailand, you wouldn't get any benefits. You'd have the £800 and that would be it. You'd be nothing else because you get nothing else from the UK or Thailand. But you still can have a decent lifestyle for 800 quid a month, and it is possible. The sweet spot is probably £1,000 to £1,500. We live on £1,400 a month, me and the wife, and we're buying our house. We live a decent standard of living. We go on holidays and things like that. So for 14, there's a big difference between £1,000 and £1,500 a month as far as lifestyle is concerned. And because we live semi-rural and we're not bar people, we don't go drinking in the bars all the time. That could be costly, living in the bars or entertainment all the time. But if you want to live with the entertainment in patio and jump gym and stuff like that, you're talking probably £2,000 a month to give you sort of a decent lifestyle. Because going out and being entertained all the time can be very costly. So it depends what you want. My retired and living the dream. I've got the wife, so I don't live in patio. I live the lifestyle as I would do in the UK. I live in a semi-rural location, which I would have done in the UK because that's what I wanted to do. We socialize. We've got friends that we go around their house. They come around here, and things like that. I live the normal life as I would have done in the UK. But if I wanted the party life, if I had a wife that likes the parties or likes, drinking and entertainment, then it would cost me a lot more money. So how long's a piece of string, really? So basically you can do it on £800 a month, okay lifestyle, no frills with it, but it is possible. £1,000 is probably, a better income. Another £200 makes a big difference, but going from 1,000 to 1,500 makes a huge difference in what you want to do. House-wise, condo-wise, you can get a condo for like £120 to £150 a month just across the road from a nice beach. You can rent a condo in Pattaya for about £300 a month. So this house that we live in, because it's semi-rural, you need transport where we live. Without transport, you'd be stuck. But that was 12,000 baht a month, so that's £260 a month. But you need a bike or a car to get around. So location. If I lived in Phuket, it'd be 3 times more than what I'm paying here. Location. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short today. 2 hours, 45 minutes. My voice is going a little bit, and I'm going to call it a day. Thank you very much for all of those people who've joined in, and hope the conversation's been good. I hope you've learned everything that you want to know. Have a look at my ebooks in the links below. It's linked to every ebook, so you can have a look at it. It'll give you a brief description of what the ebook's about retiring and living over in Thailand, internet dating and things like that. And for those people who want to lose a little bit of weight, the keto books, again, $3. So that's how my channel survives. And I use that money to be able to do other videos, such as me solar videos and things like that. So thanks very much for joining, everybody. Much appreciated. Big thumbs up to all those people. It's been a good, entertaining video, and I hope everybody is happy with it. It's nice to be back, and I'll do a couple of more live streams as well. I usually like to do twice a month or something like that. Many more videos to come, and I'm up and running again, and I look forward to it. Thanks very much for joining in, everybody. Okay, just a couple of questions before I log up. How much would the house cost you that you bought where you are now? You can get a house something like this for about 3 million baht, £72,000, which is what I paid for my very first house. Is now, well, it was a 1-bedroom bungalow, and that's up for sale now for the same price where I paid for this £72,000. So 3 million baht, £72,000, you can get a good house. Good to see you back. Thanks very much. How much? They've done that one. Cheers, Ray. Have a good day. Hi, Les. I only have a automatic driver's license. Are automatics available? Yeah, automatics are available. Our car is an automatic. It's the automatics that are favoured amongst the gear change or gear stick. So automatic cars over here, cheap as chips, not expensive. Thanks, Les. Good information from New Zealand. Thanks very much for watching. Okay, thank you, Leslie. Have a great day. Thanks very much. Cheers. Have a good day. Looking forward to that coffee. No problem. The coffee's always on. Okay, Dick. Glad you're home safe. Thanks very much. Okay, thanks for all the advice. Okay, enough people. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, bye for now.